Houston.
We're going to be at Kirby's Ice House on Friday and Saturday.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
1 for 1 from 40 yards today. Not a bad day.
I've been hearing a lot of talk to some of you mother that can't play basketball.
Money.
Miami. Don't you dare do that. Don't you dare do that. I don't want to hear a fucking word from you about Miami.
Houston, Texas, how we feeling? It's time for Barstool Live. Let me introduce the cast. We've got Dave Portnoy, Big Cat, PFT commenter, Mark Titus, Big Ev, and everyone's favorite, Rico Bosco. Kirby Ice House, make some noise. It's time for Barstool Live. Woo!
Go.
We got 0 cheers. 0.
Rico Bosco.
Woo!
Boo.
Watch out, he'll harass your ex-wife or your wife.
What's up? We're
going on?
live.
By the way, we were here 6 years ago. Was anybody here 6 years ago when we came?
Hell yes.
One of our favorite places to do anything. Good crowd today. Houston, I'm going to admit it. I call it as I see it. It's one of the worst cities to get around in the world. It's so spread out. It's like
Service roads.
I honestly
Service
don't know
roads.
how anyone lives here. It's like it takes an hour to get anywhere at any point in any traffic at any time. So God bless you, Houston people. I don't know how the hell you do it.
When you drive into town from Austin, you have about, I'd say, conservatively 30, 35 miles of Houston starting.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And then
huge.
it's a strip ball, strip ball, strip ball, boom, Houston.
Yeah.
Big ass places too, like just huge restaurants, like a lot of spots that probably have this many people.
This place is an awesome bar.
Awesome.
Shout out Kirby Ice House. We have a couple guests today. John Fanta's supposed to be here, right?
John Fanta better show up.
If he doesn't show up, Bosco, that's a huge blemish on your reputation.
Fair enough.
Also,
Are you going to pout?
No, I'm not.
All right, okay.
Wait, are you going to be happy if he doesn't show up, or are you still?
No, I like Johnny.
We all love Johnny Fanta. I tried to hire Fanta.
Yeah.
I literally offered him a job. We went back and forth, and he took it with Fox. Real quick, a decent amount, unless I'm imagining it, of Miami fans. Better than I thought. Yeah,
okay.
see, throwing up the
What about
U.
the Husky fans? Where's UConn? All right.
Do you know that last time I think UConn was in the Final Four, somebody reminded me I got high in the student section. I snuck down.
Yes, in 2014,
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
that
Versus
was
Kentucky, right?
That was the same trip. It was Wisconsin, Kentucky in the semifinal, and I got my heart ripped out, and then we flew and watched Undertaker lose his streak at
Yeah.
WrestleMania in New Orleans, and then we flew back.
And still, the best sign in the history of sign. We were sitting at the airport, and there was was it a girl?
It was
I
a
think?
woman.
Yeah, dressed, and she had a sign for the Undertaker.
31-0.
31-0.
Because his streak
Yeah,
at WrestleMania.
It was
and he was actually 30-1.
Yeah.
It was the saddest thing ever. Uh-oh.
Those are precious notes.
Wait, so Titus, you've been here for a couple days. Have you been getting phone numbers like Rico?
No, I do not do that.
Oh.
That's not my game. But Rico is a power broker.
He is.
Brian.
I asked him what party he went to last night, and he said multiple parties.
He calls parties meetings,
He's
though.
bouncing around.
Yeah, he does
know?
call parties meetings.
Entertaining clients, right?
Yeah, he's entertaining
Wherever
clients.
business gets done.
Rico,
Yeah.
Rico, can we do like a little bit of role play here? Because I was wondering what your go-to line is. How do you close a coach? If you're talking to a
how do you
coach,
get the number?
You want to get the number. Let's pretend I'm a coach. I coach, I don't know, College of Charleston.
Oh, I got him though.
Oh, okay.
All right, bad example.
But are you like at the end, are you like, hey, you want to get out of here?
No. Let them enjoy the party, but you know, pump yourself up a little bit. Hey, I motivated K-State. They went and won a game. Like, do some stuff.
No,
We're really dominating college basketball. There's a whole cast here.
You
Like,
don't get credit for K-State because you were still Bama. You were still Bama when K-State won their game.
yeah.
So you don't get credit for that.
All right, fine.
You went Bama to K-State to Texas.
Creighton.
To Creighton to Texas. Lost them all.
Coach killer.
Coach killer.
Absolute coach.
So yeah, how do you close?
Like I said, you just pump yourself up a little bit, like, hey, you've seen what I've done.
You want to meet Dave Portnoy?
Yeah, exactly.
Collab.
Review. I'll sell anything, yeah.
I can get a reservation at this restaurant.
Yes,
drop my name.
absolutely.
I'll text you over the holidays.
Yeah,
Right.
whatever
Yeah,
you
yeah,
want.
yeah.
I'll
Get
be
you
there
on,
for you.
yeah. Well,
Have you
do
heard that story, by the way, Titus?
What's that?
Last time we were at the Final Four in Chicago, and Rico got caught making a reservation at a restaurant by using my name. He's like, they're like, we have no availability. He's like, well, like Dave Portnoy's going to show up. And then I actually ended up being like, well, I'm going to go to the restaurant. So we walk into the restaurant, and they were like thanking me and shaking my hand. I'm like, this is fucking weird. Like, why are they being so nice? And I said something like, why are they acting like they did me a favor? Like I just came. Turns out Rico called, used my name, not thinking I was coming, and then I actually came.
I don't hate the move, Rico.
He also
just got caught.
Yeah, he also did an
No, he was
all-time
the
move.
your name was the second pull. The first one was, hey, I found a $100 bill outside.
That's what he said. He's like,
I'm gonna
I
go
wanna
return it.
Yeah.
I want to make sure it gets in the right hands. You think that helps me get a table? And they were like, yeah, that's a little tough. I was like, all right. What if Dave Portnoy came? They're like, yeah, that probably works. I was like, all right.
Even though I had
Hilarious.
no intent.
You're worth
yeah.
more than $100.
Exactly.
Oh man.
Right. So is John Fanta standing us up? Is that what's happening?
I tweeted it. I said that he might be standing us up. We'll see. It would be a very bad career move for John Fanta. It also would
I
just
love Fanta.
I love Fanta.
And he said yes, Rico. He confirmed.
Said confirmed a couple of times.
He's
Yeah,
gonna
saw
come
him
in
last
here.
night.
He's
He'll
gonna
come.
We'll
he's
see.
gonna roll in here and he's gonna be the man.
We'll see.
Ball of energy.
Not to stick with my Miami people, but are the Miami people traveling, or do they live here and go to school here? Did Miami people travel?
I think they traveled.
You live here, or you travel?
Traveled. I think they
All
traveled.
right.
I mean, it's the first time they've ever been in the Final Four.
Yeah,
Their
but
football team
listen,
stinks.
Yeah.
Miami is not world renowned for their fans. I mean, you guys didn't care about basketball till probably 2 weeks ago. And listen,
Oh no! Whoa! You're getting a lot of people getting
no.
upset.
Listen, I'm all about the U. I'm all about the U. But I didn't think you guys would travel. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah, this guy's good. Fist pumping and
There
kinda
it
looks
is.
like he wants to punch you.
If I had to guess, I would say UConn will be by far the most represented team here.
Yes.
But it will be interesting because
Yeah.
we're talking about this. There are the Final Four is a weird element where there are a bunch of people who will fly in just for Monday. So it
True.
will be interesting to see if UConn maybe isn't that represented in Saturday and then everyone's here on Monday.
Oh, I think UConn will be.
I do too. It's been a
strong both
while.
days.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know about San Diego State.
San Diego State's going to show out a little bit, I think.
You think so?
I think so. But I'm also biased because I flew in from LA, so there are a lot of San Diego State fans.
Yeah,
on my
you're like,
flight.
hey,
Yeah,
all
like-
these fans.
Like, so I haven't seen a single UConn fan on my flight. I've seen nothing but San Diego State.
Why would you ever leave San Diego? That's the other.
That's a great question.
Well, you could say the same thing though about Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Boca,
And
yeah,
FAU.
FAU.
Yeah,
Boca.
true.
Yeah, why is anybody here?
Yeah.
FAU is not getting talked about. I feel like they're the last team in the Final Four.
They also can't have many fans.
Yeah, I mean, it's a small school, right?
I think it is a small school.
Hanging out at the beach, Dusty
And-
May.
And without Miami, they're actually like an hour, less than an hour away. Miami and FAU are 45 minutes away.
Did anybody do a famous alum Google search?
I did.
on
Yeah.
FAU?
Yeah.
Anthony Rizzo.
Oh.
He's an FAU guy.
Yeah.
Okay. We went for a
well,
year?
I should say, according to the first page of Google that I didn't
gonna
click
say, I
on,
don't-
so it popped
Okay.
up in the search.
Could be a
result.
trap.
So,
Okay.
all right. What about San Diego State? Marshall Falk?
Donnell
Tony
Pumphrey.
Gwynn?
Tony Gwynn, yeah.
Tony Gwynn?
Yeah, that's your school that Clay Travis
Strasburg.
stole.
Yeah.
My friend Luke went there. Everyone knows Luke.
San Diego.
Donnell Pumphrey. Who was the other running back?
You
Rashad
love
Penny.
that guy.
Yes.
Humphrey, yeah.
Loved him. Yeah. Ran for like
Strasburg went
2,000
there.
yards. Oh, yeah, he did.
Oh,
First
interesting.
pick in the draft.
Yeah, Strasburg. You guys know Steven Strasburg here in Houston? Are you familiar with him at all and his work?
Joe Gibbs.
I accidentally wore this shirt today. It's a complete coincidence that I wore it in Houston. I don't even remember who they beat in 2019 in the World Series.
But I don't think that could hurt them because they've won two.
Yeah, I was going to say, Astros fans were like,
well,
we can't even remember all the World Series.
Yeah.
You wore that as a taunt?
No, it was an accident. It was
Yeah,
the
you
last thing
can't-
I packed today.
As somebody who has like 9,000 Super Bowls, you can't taunt somebody when they've won as much as the Astros have won because
do win.
they don't care about you.
I'm still holding on to that year. That was a great year for me personally.
We got Herm Edwards,
From where?
San Diego
San
State.
Diego State?
Yeah, this is Joe Gibbs, Gregory Peck, famous actor. That's about it. That's a pretty good list. Oh, obviously Kawhi,
Oh, yeah, he did go to San Diego State,
Kawhi did
didn't he?
go to San
Wow,
Diego
that's
State.
right. Wow.
Yeah, FAU. I wonder what FAU.
Should you be allowed to count athletes? Because Miami will have 9,000
Right.
people if you count athletes.
That's true, yeah.
They're
FAU?
just throwing up the U every which way. Hey, I had a question. We did this on one of my podcasts, BFF. Who do you think's more famous, right? This is more of a Miami. Alex Earl or John Wall? Yeah, see, they're all yelling Alex Earl.
Earl's the female basketball player?
She's like the queen of Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did she miss a big? No, she didn't miss the big free throw, did she?
Are you joking?
What?
Who's Alex Earl?
Alex Earl's like the most popular
Yeah.
TikTok.
She made. Is she play?
Are you talking about the twins?
No, I'm talking about the twins. I'm talking about the twins.
Miami has all.
That's where I got
all
confused.
the like socialites. They got the two female.
Got it.
They got the
Got
Cavalier.
That's who I thought you were talking about.
Yeah.
They were on your show too, right?
Correct.
Yes. So that's where I got confused.
So they actually made a run. One of them plays, one of them doesn't. But Alex
yeah,
Earl.
they beat Indiana at Indiana.
But Alex Earl's the most popular girl on TikTok right now.
Got it.
And I also asked who's more popular, Wong or Alex Earl on campus?
Alex Earl.
That is because that's like a warm weather party school.
You're also talking to a bunch of dudes that like they're hard right now thinking about her.
No. Because if we were talking about,
he just crossed his legs. He's like Alex Earl. He goes, yeah, bro, I'm hard. I'm hard.
If we were talking about Kentucky, there's no way any girl on campus is more popular.
Wait,
than
why'd you say John Wall? Where does that?
John Wall comes up because we saw him at a restaurant at dinner, and we launched into a big debate who has the best high school mixtape of all time. John Wall is in that conversation. It led to who's more famous, John Wall or Alex Earl. Alex Earl, I don't think can walk through this crowd without pictures. John Wall, I think, can.
I don't know. John Wall would get. I think John Wall will get recognized.
I'm still conditioned. Remember when you said someone was TikTok famous? That was just funny. And like, I'm still stuck in that mode from when like TikTok started. When you're like, this person's famous on TikTok. That was a joke.
Like 5 years ago. Yeah.
I have not caught up to when you said she was famous on TikTok. I thought we were still laughing at that.
No.
But we're not laughing
That's
anymore.
real deal.
What happens if China?
I'm officially old.
What happens if they ban it?
Man.
What happens if they ban the TikTok?
I don't think that's going to happen.
Who's more famous in China, John Wall or the TikTok star? That's the real question.
Actually, Chicken Fry, Brianna knew. I was like, "Do you know John Wall?" And she just did this.
Oh,
that was
okay.
He knew the dance.
That was a big deal.
He had a great high school.
Yeah, he did. Know the dance. Yeah. So it's all back and forth a little bit. We have him. My mic.
Oh, Mike.
Wires wrapped around the mic.
There we go.
I'm not in.
That's a pro.
I'm not an invalid. I mean, you told me that. So
Wait,
do it.
I want to know because I know who Big Ev has, but Titus and Rico, who are you guys picking tomorrow night?
I got UConn over San Diego State. So,
for the final. Okay.
So those are my two.
And what about you, Rico?
I think it's a double toss-up. I'm probably leaning San Diego State and UConn.
Wait, but you. Okay, so you're not actually.
Same. So same as me.
Okay. Miami is awesome. Miami
like that.
literally.
They don't make. They just.
If I don't bet on it, I don't really have ties. Like I'm truthfully just picking coin flip. So like when I'm invested, it goes
everybody
to
on Miami
shit.
can score.
Yes.
Everybody. They're so good. I didn't realize, we were talking early, your guy John Ruiz, the Life Wallet guy, is actually sponsoring the best player in UConn too.
That's not good.
A little weird, but
That's not good.
And Danny Boy Kane is coming
Supposed
down.
to be coming.
He's coming. Yeah, these guys over here said that he was coming.
Yeah, Danny Boy Kane's making the trip. I actually offered to take him, but we're not going to be here Monday.
Yeah, and he did say, he sent me a message this morning. He was like, I'm thinking about coming Monday. I need a flight and a ticket, otherwise I don't come. And I was like, am I negotiating with a terrorist? But that's Danny Boy. He is the most famous Miami fan.
Is he?
Yeah, if Michael Irvin and Danny Boy walk in this bar, I think Danny Boy is.
I love Michael Irvin. Did you see the video he made at a bar the other day after they won? It was pretty intense.
Yeah, he got vindicated, I think, in that hotel thing.
Yeah, he did.
Good for Michael Irvin.
Good for
He
Michael
tried to
Irvin.
sue him for $100 million.
Yeah.
I think. And they're like, that's a big number. We're out.
Yeah. Good for him. Good for him.
Rico, I don't want to make this a thing, but I dress like an asshole in the Houston heat.
It's 1,000 degrees.
It's 1,000 degrees, and I wear a hoodie and can we switch seats or something? I'm in the fucking sun right now.
That's a team player right there.
Yeah, thank you.
Get there,
Thank you.
Rico. That's a team player.
Don't forget your phone.
I want, when we get our guests here, Rico, I want you to do like 3 minutes of Bosco and One with them so Dave can see it. Because he doesn't watch it. I like Bosco and One. It's a great program.
That's respect, Rico.
Yeah.
Waiting on fans.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, you're backwards. Oh,
He's got it.
Have you talked to Fanta?
Oh, my God.
No, recently since you
Yes.
said, oh, so he is coming.
Supposed to be coming, yeah.
All right, good.
So we'll see.
We'll have a little basketball.
I'm going to text
talk.
him right now saying, are you not coming?
I tell you this, too, about Houston. For a city, it has more big events, I feel like, since we've been doing Barstool. I feel like we're here every 10 minutes. Super Bowls, Final Fours, they get everything.
Yeah.
They literally get everything. Maybe it's the warm weather. This got to condense the city a little bit.
I know. It's because we were talking about it in Titus and I were saying on his show, like, it's no offense to the people of Houston, but when you have Indianapolis, New Orleans, and San Antonio, those 3 Final
Walking
Four sites,
cities.
you show up and you never get in a car for 5 days.
Yeah.
And you just get to, you walk everywhere. In Houston, you got to get in the car.
Yeah. I don't want to argue that San Antonio is a better city than Houston. I'm not saying that. We're saying San Antonio is a better host.
100%.
It's just walking. It's just walking. It's
Yeah,
just
we're just all late.
It's a walkable city.
You're on the Riverwalk.
Yeah.
And so
that's
you've
all.
got everything that you need right there.
We're all over the map here, too. So this is kind of a Houston story. You know how Houston got fucked? The Titans taking the Houston Oilers uniforms is a joke.
Yeah.
The fact that the Texans,
They're a new franchise.
and the Texans have arguably the worst uniforms in the league. They're terrible. They're ugly uniforms. And the Houston Oilers are like the best uniforms in the history of the league. The fact that the Houston Oilers can't be the Houston Oilers again is a disgrace. Worse yet, PFT showed, or somebody showed me an article, the Titans are wearing the Oilers uniforms against the Titans. the Texans.
It's
the
like the Ravens could technically wear the Browns throwbacks.
If you
right?
leave a city, you should not be able to take their uniforms or name with them.
I'd agree.
Start over.
I completely agree.
You leave that behind.
The Houston Oilers
standing up for Houston.
The Oilers uniforms are top 5 uniforms in the history of the NFL.
They are.
A round of applause.
Yeah, these guys are standing up for Houston.
I know, this is just like
Come on.
politician Dave at his
Space
finest.
City, yeah. Please clap. Please clap.
I'm trying to win over the home crowd.
A lot of
That was great.
I also
was
like
great.
that they
That
call it Space City. That's cool.
That
The
is
astronauts
cool.
are here. Yeah, I was driving and I
yeah.
saw like Space City tacos. I was like, oh, that makes sense.
The Astros are a great name for
Tico,
a team.
Texas.
Tico, Texas. You know,
Yes.
by the way, did you see our guy, Mattress Mac? So Mattress
Who's he
Mac.
on?
Do people like people love Mattress Mac,
Mattress-
right? Yeah, he's the
Good
man.
guy.
He does everything for the city.
Mattress Mac went from bet on Houston to bet on FAU like that.
Oh,
like,
no.
Like I'm hearing all these commercials. Bet on FAU. Who the fuck around here cares about FAU? We got the only
guys.
three
There we go. There we go.
Is this it? It's like this?
It's Owls.
Go.
Okay.
I'm going to bet on FAU. I am. Just because nobody else is. Somebody's got to believe
Dusty May said the highlight of the tournament was meet me in the lobby of the hotel.
Yeah.
What Dusty May didn't realize is I thought you guys were FDU when I met you, and I was like, great upset. I had you money line. They're like, what are you talking about?
Dusty May, future Indiana Hoosiers head coach.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
We were trying to get him to do the Hoosiers when he gets to the stadium. He probably didn't do it. It would have happened today, where he measures the rim. It would have been a great clip.
What is the line in San Diego?
2.5.
So they're not even, I mean, that's basically a pick 'em.
It's a coin flip.
Yeah. And I am worried about, like, I think UConn's in for it. Like, it's going to be a fucking hard game. Miami just makes every shot. Yeah, they make every shot.
Miami is awesome. Texas played almost perfect up to 7 minutes into that game. They hit every single shot. Miami, they have 10 guys who can score. Everybody can score. Everybody can create their own shot. They're going to be a tough out. By the way, people don't realize, if we're going to talk betting, I put 250 grand on Miami to win the whole thing, 1.1 million. So I'm doing this the whole fucking time. It'll be my biggest win ever. And I had them to go to the Final Four before the tournament at 12-1. So I love Miami. Love them.
Rico, do you have a connection to Jim Larrañaga? Oh, you're still checking your phone? You're nervous?
No, our first guest is on the way.
Oh, okay.
Hold in.
All right, okay. He's nervous.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean,
Fanta, I think, officially showed us.
Also, by the way, rooting for Miami.
well, I think he is signed
Being
for,
able to do this every 2 seconds in people's faces. Now, you could get that if it goes south. But
Yes.
that is electric. You don't have that at Ohio State, have you? Got nothing.
Yeah, we don't have.
But
we don't have like we don't have like a.
Okay, so we're brought to you by Hooters. Hooters, wonderful sponsor. Let's give it up for Hooters. We got the Hooters Girls out here. Wings, beer, everything. Best place to watch sports is Hooters. Bounce into Hooters for the best wings, biggest beers, and your favorite Hooters Girls. I mean, there's nothing better. This time of year, like when you got all the sports coming back, you know, baseball.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah,
he's going out. He's dapping him up.
Yeah, he's talking to Bruce Pearl.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this
Yeah.
guy, Dave. Hooters, though, is one of our favorite sponsors. Go check out a Hooters today. The best wings, and you get the beer, and it's Hooters.
Hot wings,
Need
cold
I say
beer.
more? Yeah. I went to a Hooters in Tampa once. Was unbelievable.
I think
Great time.
all of Tampa is technically a Hooters.
Yeah,
Best-
it was so much fun.
Best Hooters on planet Earth, Daytona Beach.
Yeah.
Right by the track.
Yes. All right, we got Bruce
World-class
Pearl,
Hooters.
head coach of
Nice to meet you.
Auburn basketball. Hey, what's up, Coach? Hey, good to see you.
You guys
He's
have
been,
had him.
Yeah, he's been on Pardon My Take. Great interview with us. That was a lot of fun last year.
You take it.
Coach, I gotta ask. The first question is like, this heat, you're gonna be sweating soon.
You've seen that before.
Yeah.
Where in Boston are you from?
I was Roxbury for about the first 5 years of my life. And like, you know, all the Jewish people that left Dorchester, Mattapan, went out to the suburbs.
Yeah.
And I grew up in Sharon, right outside near Foxborough Stadium.
Yeah. So
Right.
I grew up in Swampscott. I lived in Dorchester, though, for a while. Lower Mills.
Yeah, man. My family was from Dorchester, man. Blue Hill Avenue, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Morton Street.
Yeah. Right down the road.
So I follow you because, you know, you kind of got a little Boston flavor to you, right?
I do.
So I followed you for a long time on Twitter and appreciate you sticking your neck out there a little bit, loving on our country. And, you know, not everybody is agreeing with you politically, but I bet you a lot of people up in here agreeing with him politically, right?
There we go, Bruce.
There's some great Americans out here.
Bruce, I don't know if you knew your guys borderline in
Put your
Al-Qaeda.
headset on.
This
Put
guy's
your headset on.
basically Al-Qaeda.
Yeah, he actually didn't. Well, no, we want to get that clear because there's
Yeah,
been
let's clear
rumors.
that up.
Let's clear that up. Rico did not fight in Afghanistan.
He was not in the Taliban.
On the side of
even though
the
there's a lot of
They like to do
pictures.
photoshops. It's
No,
tough, Coach.
no, listen,
Tough.
listen.
Tough.
You've never been in Afghanistan.
Never been there.
Right.
Right.
But did you help the boys, the Taliban, from afar?
No, I didn't.
Okay, all right. Good.
Just sticking to being
Good.
The boys.
Good, the boys. Yeah, that's what Rico calls them. He's my boy.
The old squad.
Coach, how did you meet Rico? And what was his closing line with you? Because we're trying to figure it
How
out.
annoying was he?
Yeah.
How much did he pester you?
The truth?
Yeah.
All right, the truth is, I know you guys, okay? I know you're doing really well. But I'm 63, okay? It's my son, Steven, over there.
Let's go,
right?
Steven.
Right?
The best.
Yes.
And my entire staff, they're like, you're really going on that. Coach, you've got to go do this.
Yes.
Like, so that was the deal, is all my staff think I'm cooler because I'm with you guys.
Yeah. I mean,
That's the deal.
when you came on Pardon My Take, it was a great interview. We had a lot of fun. We are must-bust guys, but, you know, you're right there.
I'm not a must.
I'm a
so
must.
let's
He's
go-
you know
Yeah,
he's
Nate's
Nate Oates
a
guy.
very good friend.
He's
No,
a very
yeah.
good friend.
Scale of 1 to
Yeah.
10, how bad did he fuck up the way he handled the whole situation?
Either one or 10, whichever one you want to come at. No, hey, listen, our league, SEC is phenomenal, and we've got great coaching. How good is the league? Arkansas finishes 10th in the SEC.
Sweet 16.
Right? And they get to the Sweet 16, you know, and they finish 10th in our league. So
What? Not to bring up bad memories, but that second half against Houston.
yeah,
Did you guys know how to play basketball?
no,
It was.
I thought it was like a 20-minute game.
It was a four shots made. Was that more Houston or was it you guys
Yeah,
just
that's a great
got
question.
cold?
It was more Houston. I mean, I think we went into the locker room. We expected Houston to guard us like they guarded us in the second half. Like, come out, pressure us, make us turn over, and we did whatever we wanted to do in the first half. And I honestly think our guys went at halftime going, if it's going to be like this, we're going to win by 20.
Right.
And I'm not saying we overlooked them all. We had great respect for them. We had a great game plan. Steven had the scout. And there's another Boston guy. See the big guy over there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the largest man in Auburn, Alabama right there.
He kind of looks like a Boston guy.
Virgo, yeah. Played for the Middlesex Magic. Huge Patriots fan. Bit of a gambler, but other than that, he's okay.
Like a little bit of a
Well,
Boston guy.
we like gambling.
I always ask this question to coaches. The NIL, it would make me hate my job so much if I was in your shoes.
Yep.
Because to me, you got to you recruit once, and then you got to recruit every single year. And you're seeing now this guy into the portal. Do you hate this?
Good question.
Here's a great question. That's a way better question than you asked about bringing up a bad memory.
Well, I had that. You hit 4 shots, and I was like, I remembered. I think I had you guys, and I was like, what's happening?
You should have taken us in the first half.
Yes.
Yep. And that was a better bet because Houston's been a second half team all year long.
That is true.
Not that I pay attention to any of that stuff.
Yeah.
All right, what'd you say?
NIL.
All right, I love NIL. I hate transfer portal. Look, 85% of my kids are not going to play in the NBA. They're not, right? Some will play some. Why not be able to make some money and get a realistic scholarship? I just feel like 25 years ago, tuition, room, board, books, fees, it was plenty. It was enough. But now what are we paying coaches? What are we paying? How much money are athletic departments making? And the student athletes were left behind. The NCAA was arrogant and late to the party.
Yes.
Not
Agreed.
I don't want my kids working at Subway. I want them owning 5 of them when they get done. And you know what? If they spend 4 years and make some good amount of money, and we teach them to save and invest and not buy 18 pairs of shoes and 45 jeans and save their money, right? They get off to a great start even if they never make it in the NBA. The transfer portal I don't like. It's not the kid's fault. It's the parents' fault. Listen, parents, here's what happens. Your kid's not batting fourth. He's not batting fourth. You know what, Mike? When my kid wasn't batting fourth and he was batting 7th, stay off the high ones. Let's get in the damn cage, and let's see if we can do what we're going to do. Now, parents, no, let's just find another team that'll let my kid bat 4th.
I like this.
I like it.
I like it.
That's
but here's, and by the way, Johnny Fanta, a little
Did
bit
you know
late.
Johnny
Coach
Fanta?
Pearl.
Johnny, how you doing, man?
Bruce Pearl for president.
Johnny Fanta.
Loving it.
We thought you weren't going to come, Johnny.
Yeah, which would have been disappointing.
I'm a man of my word.
Johnny Fanta, he great college basketball analyst. His part-time job, carrying Ed Cooley's water. That's what he does half the time.
That's right, Coach.
Trust it. Now, and which brings up an NIL. So if I get everything you say, but then the counter argument, well, why does a coach get? This coach recruits me, Bruce Pearl. I'm going for you, and you get a better job. I'm not saying you, but anybody, and the coach bounces. So if a coach can bounce, why can't a kid?
Well, no, I don't. Great. Look, I believe in the freedom of movement. I don't mind the one-time transfer thing. I don't. The worst part of it so far has been this: freshmen. It's hurting.
If you don't play,
you're leaving.
Right, that sucks.
And so it bothers me because what happened is now, how many freshmen am I going to recruit at a Power 5 school? If you're not in the top 30, 40 players in the country, you cannot play Power 5 and average double-digit minutes or points right now as a freshman. I mean, I used to love to take freshmen, and they get in there, they get a little taste, and they learn. And then about a year later, they get a little bit of hair on their ass. They gain 15 pounds. They toughen up, and they learn from, you know what? And then we have history. You know, we get to go back, and we get to learn from the mistakes that we made and as sophomore and junior. So that's the only thing I don't like about it is it teaches them too much to flee, not fight.
I think it should be, honestly, just transfer portal. You get 1 or 2 transfers.
Aren't they trying to do it as one?
One. I think it should be because what it feels like right now, and I think it's not even the players' fault, it's just the opportunity to transfer every year makes it so that nothing is like permanent. You could basically be like, oh, I'll just hop to the next place. There should be like, hey, look, if you really want to move, you can, but you can't just keep doing it over and over because it doesn't serve the players either. If they're going to 5 different colleges, how does that help them?
Well, unless they're getting paid.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, if a player's stuck on the depth chart, though, as a coach, have you ever seen the situation that was unfolding, realized this is not going to be a place where this kid could get significant minutes, and actually advised him like it might be beneficial for you to look at the portal?
Yep. Last year, one of my Devin Cambridge, who went to Arizona State, absolutely loved Devin, but there was about 20 minutes coming back next year, so we had the conversation. This is what's going to be next year. Again, it's going to be 20, but there's no chance for it to be more because of the depth chart. What do you want to do? And he said, I think I want to probably get. I said, then go. I wanted him back, but we had the honest conversation
that's
going.
Good, yeah.
There's no more than 20 for you. So look, it is a good rule. Part of the problem is if you got an old school coach, you got Coach Pat Dye used to say you can coach him as hard as you love him. You can coach him hard.
Getting your Auburn football coaches in there.
Yeah.
You could coach him as hard as you love him. And so as parents, like nobody can say anything to your kids like you can. You could say, hey, but your kids know you love them, so they're going to put up with you, dads. They are, because you know you. But if the first time I holler at them, they're like, man, I'm out. Like, I'm out. You know, and then we teach them that's not being a good father, that's not being a good husband. And so there's some of this that's just a little bit out of whack. I mean, look how many kids are in the portal right now. Mike,
A million.
How many kids are in the portal right now? What's the number?
1,200.
1,200.
That's a lot of people.
So what can we do differently then? Collectively.
You know what
Good question,
You know what I'd say
John.
differently? Here's what I'd say. I'd say, how about this? I hadn't thought about this, but I'm thinking about it right now. What if you can transfer one time, but you can't transfer after a place you've only been 1 year?
I don't hate that.
Transfer
I
one
wonder.
time.
Wait, say it again.
So you have to stay up before
Just-
you are eligible to transfer. You have to be there 2 years.
So like I sign a contract. I've got a contract at Auburn. And if I want to get out of my contract, there's a penalty a little bit. All right, we're going to put you on scholarship, but you got to stay 2 years and know that going in. And we can't mess with you for 2 years. And then after 2 years, you might have. I'm just thinking.
How much of that is because of the fact that what you tell a kid is going to happen in year one? You can't fully forecast what's going to happen in his first year with a program because he's a freshman, and that's life in college basketball.
Right.
He could have a better than anticipated freshman year, or you could say to a freshman, hey, I want you to play, but due to circumstances, we need you to grow in our program.
Right. Think about an offensive lineman in football. I mean, what offensive lineman comes in? They come in, they're 6'9", they're 330 pounds, and they're full of baby fat, and but they've got a future. They're going to be they're not ready.
Yeah.
Right.
So come in and let's train and let's get your helmet hit. Let's get smacked and have that helmet looking out the sideways, and it just takes a couple of years. I don't know. There's too many. So we got to do. I think we got to do something
About trades. You could work in trades.
Oh, I would
somehow.
like trades.
Trade star players. Or I think that just the name transfer portal is too cool. Kids want to enter. It sounds
Saying
awesome.
you enter the
Like,
portal
I'm entering.
sounds awesome.
I want at some point in my life, I want to enter a portal.
Yeah, well, but and to be on top of that, though, who doesn't love being recruited or being told you're the
You get
best,
re-recruited.
or hey, we got this, and it's a fun process for a college kid. If you're building, let's take yourself. If you're a college basketball coach right now, and you're doing all right to build me the best program, I got to be 90% recruit, 10% X's and O's, 50-50, 199. What wins now? To me, if you said, hey, I'm a Michigan guy, Jawan, give me 99% recruit. That's what I would want. I don't know if that's right, but to me, that's the name of the game right now.
Dave, I think in addition to that, old is winning. How fast can you get old? Because listen, the difference between somebody 48 and 52 is not very much. 18 to 22, just 4 is huge. So I'd say you got to get old. The second thing is, I think on a staff you got to have dimensions. Look, if somebody on your staff can't coach, by the way, the Final Four coaches, all 4 of these guys, they can all coach. So who?
No,
who
I'm
can't?
just kidding. They're all in the Final Four.
I'm just saying they can all.
No, they are. They
okay, so somebody had to be able to coach them, and somebody had to get some players.
Who's the worst coach in this Final Four?
Oh, yeah. Good question.
Great question.
And as a,
He's going to answer.
Come on.
Because Bruce Pearl's
See, this is what they did
Bruce
to him.
Pearl will just talk. He's an honest guy. That's why people like you.
Jim Larinaga is the oldest coach.
Yeah, he would be. He would be the oldest coach in any sport, professional or college football or basketball, to win a title if you want it.
Yep.
I put $250,000 on Miami to win the thing. 1.1 million return.
That's a good investment.
I think they're as good as anybody.
Make it rain money. Let's make
How
it
do the
rain,
Hurricane
baby.
fans feel about that?
Yeah.
They love
You
it.
say $250K?
$250,000 to win 1.2 mil. By the way, I also had Miami before the tournament make the Final Four.
True.
They can all score. One guy has a bad guy. They got 3 other guys right. UConn's very good. That game's a toss-up.
Who is like if you were scouting and you were playing against any of these 4 teams, who's the toughest matchup?
UConn right now probably the toughest matchups because they got the size. They've got the inside-out game. The interesting thing is going to be will they be able to stay in front of Miami?
Right.
Miami, they've got so many guys that can make those tough twos, that can make those tough one-on-one plays and those tough pull-ups. Not just because UConn's the most talented and the biggest team, they've been dominating the tournament. I mean, they've been dominating people.
Yeah.
So I kind of, if you made me pick there, I probably would go there. Every one of them's got a great story. Like, but Dan Hurley's not getting enough talk about a great story.
I agree.
You're right, Coach.
Yeah, no, you're right. Go on.
Because, I mean, here's the deal. Okay, his father was legendary, one of the greatest high school coaches of all time. Okay, your brother, was the Final Four MVP, one of the greatest guards to ever play the game, and then there's you. I'm rooting for him because, like, he's the mutt. He's the run of the litter. And when you go, by the way, when you go find puppies, go get the runt every time. The runt.
Really?
They work hard. They love hard.
Yeah.
Go get the runt.
I love how amazed by that you were, Fanta.
Yeah,
Really?
I am.
Run?
Well, you learn something every time, Coach Pearl talks.
They work harder.
But you know what? You're right, because a guy from Jersey City, and he said to us yesterday, if you knew where I came from, if you knew the challenges I had to go through, he's always had to live in the shadow.
Yeah.
Now is Dan Hurley's time.
Yeah.
And he's doing it at Connecticut, where there's a standard. You go around stores, they expect you to win championships.
Speak on it.
It might not always be fair, but that's the Connecticut way. It's the Connecticut standard. And now Dan Hurley, at the age of 50, has the Huskies 80 minutes away from the fifth national title since 1999. No other school has more than 3 national championships.
Let him cook.
The Huskies are looking for 5.
Testify.
Get him going. We had Dan Hurley on PMT. I asked him.
I like Dan Hurley.
Yeah.
I like the Huskies. I think they lose.
We asked him what was the best advice Jim Calhoun gave him, and he said that it was basically like a scene from The Godfather. He got to UConn, and he had regret right away because he had a good team at URI, and he was like, I made a mistake. He went into Calhoun's office, and Calhoun was like, stop acting like a fucking baby. This is UConn. And was like, go get to work. And he's like, from that moment on, I was to work.
Speaking of UConn and clearly a basketball school, how many people at Auburn do you think, like, around there would murder you if it's, like, guaranteed a national title in football? Do you think they'd be like, oh, we guarantee a national title football, but we got to kill Bruce Pearl?
Yeah.
Like, what % of the campus is taking you out?
For the right price, give me the gun. I'll kill myself.
I've always wondered.
I love the Auburn. We're in everything school. I love the Auburn. For a national championship, for a natty?
Yeah, for football. Because I've always wondered about that. You are a basketball coach at clearly a football school, and there's some of them, like Kentucky's clearly a basketball school, but the SEC, that's a football conference.
It is. But there's a misnomer that you can't win big in basketball. Like Alabama. All right, so in the last 6 years.
1 to 10, how bad did that coach handle that whole?
No, it was unfortunate. Look, I think if he had to do it over again, he would have said it differently.
Yeah.
And look, that was a very unfortunately, that was a tragedy. I mean, a woman was killed. It was a tragedy. And so sometimes there's really not much of a good way to handle it. But obviously, they didn't.
Would you have let him play?
You don't have enough facts to determine. But here's what I would say: how quickly did they have the facts to be able to make that decision?
Yeah.
I might have put a pause on it, and then we figured out from there. But listen. The tragedy is not so much how it was handled. The tragedy as a woman died and her son, his mother. That's the tragedy, and how it was handled. That's sort of going for there.
You guys, though.
All right, so Auburn. Hold on a second. So Auburn or Alabama? How about this? If I had told you this, you guys aren't in the SEC, but in the last 5 years, either Auburn or Alabama have won 5 out of the 6 SEC championships, regular season or tournament. We've won 3. Alabama's won 2. You would never guess
you
that.
went to a Final Four.
Speaking of it being a football school, it is a football school. But Auburn and Alabama are playing pretty good basketball.
I got bad news for you.
Talk to me.
So I was watching. I just happened to be stumbling across the McDonald's All-American game, and I swear to God, like, that guy's the number 1 player in the country, Kentucky. That guy's number 2, Kentucky. That guy's 4, Kentucky. It seems like they got like the top 10 McDonald's guys all going there.
Okay.
I hopefully I'm not the bearer of bad news, but he seems to have a dangerous class coming in.
He does. I get like Whataburger guys. He gets McDonald's All-American guys.
Right? And you know what?
And
you do damn well with those.
John Finn.
I'll take Whataburger over Capitol Grill 8 days a week, baby.
That's crazy. Biscuit.
That's crazy, John.
That's crazy. You don't want to go to dinner with Fanta then.
I got a question for you, Coach Pearl. And I don't know if your son has clued you in on it, because you said he does a lot more of the internet. Do you know how psycho Auburn basketball fans are on Twitter. I love them.
Yeah.
They are relentless.
They are.
They have memes of you. Like, because I can't remember what it was. I've become the unofficial guy that everyone goes to when an opposing team doesn't post the final score. I will, like, make them post the final score.
Right, that's what they do.
I got in it with, like, Auburn fans. I was, like, with them fighting against, I can't remember who. Might have been Alabama. And those guys just keep coming in waves of like Bruce Pearl fucking like weird shit and like the memes. They got the Goose Pearl.
Goose Pearl one is
they
my
just
favorite.
like it's insane. You got an army behind it.
It's a Twitter army.
Yeah,
It's a Twitter army.
To give you your due, Auburn was terrible before you got there, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you turn that your program, turn it around. You turn around, get kicked out, go somewhere else, turn around, get kicked out, turn around.
Hey, I've only lost one $11 million contract. I plan on not screwing this thing up. Do you hear that, NCAA? Do you hear that?
You ever look back?
Hey, look back. I had a kid over the house for a hamburger.
That's what I'm
now,
gonna say.
now I can buy him a hamburger restaurant.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, buy a whole Whataburger.
And even the stuff now, like so I'm a Michigan guy. What they were trying to get Harbaugh for football, and he wouldn't admit it. But it's like the NCAA, you're falling apart. What are these battles? He bought somebody a sandwich or something. It's like, what are we talking about?
You know what I loved in your program? Last summer, where'd you go with your team?
We went to Israel.
I love the video you talking with, I think, different kids that were at the games.
Yeah. No,
how much fun was that?
Well, I mean, it was great. You know, not to get off the subject terribly, but I'll get off the subject. So as a coach, I'm working on bringing people together. That's what I love to do, and that's what we do. And so I'm Jewish. My wife's Christian, and I go to church every Sunday. I read the Bible all the time. Here's the deal. Somehow religion has separated us in some ways. I'm a bring people together guy. Like, I don't expect you to agree with everything I say, but I don't need to agree with you. But, man, we're all in this country together. Abraham is the father of all the nations. He's the father of the Muslim nation, the Christian and Judeo nation. That brings us together.
Yep.
Jesus lived his entire life as a Jew. They called him rabbi. Does that not bring Jews and Christians together? That's how I feel as a coach.
Sounds like you got to coach Kyrie this.
Well, you know what? But part of
you can say it. Kyrie's the fucking worst.
You got to coach Kyrie this.
All right, but here's the deal. Whose responsibility is that to coach him? It was our generation. Somebody needed to teach him. Like you needed to be
fucking
taught.
Coach K at Duke.
Coach K.
So that,
it was.
If we can't even talk about it without pissing somebody off or because it's inappropriate, I might say the wrong thing, we can't even talk about it.
No, you're right.
We have to be able to talk
Bruce
about
Pearl
it.
for president. John Fanta are you part of John Fanta's circle? Did you give him sources?
We are now. We're united.
I would be on one condition.
Okay.
That they take this fucking jacket off right here. this color's killing me.
Yeah, that's
don't like
true.
It's Roll Tide. It's Alabama's color.
Come on,
Is it?
Johnny Fanta.
This is Roll Tide?
He's a Big East guy. Look at this. Yeah. Get it out of here. Get it out of here.
I'm telling you.
It's the best.
You want John Fanta because he is.
I was coming from the hotel.
He is a
bags.
coach defender like nobody believes. You could commit murder, he'll defend you. So yes, you want him in your circle.
do.
That's not true.
Yeah, that's close.
That is not true, Coach.
We've had a big Ed Cooley debate because I'm Providence. I have a spot in my heart for Providence. I do
too.
I don't. Do you, Fanta?
A chicken parm.
Yeah, you're not getting any of those anymore.
Let me ask you this. Since when is it easier to win at Georgetown than it is at Providence? I fully reject that theory. Providence is a better fan base. They do. Georgetown doesn't have fans. Georgetown had one coach, and he was an icon, and he was a cultural movement, and he got players that spoke. But Providence, they're basketball crazy there. It's in the Big East. Do you think it's easier to win at Georgetown than Providence?
No, I don't. But here's the perspective. From a national perspective, Georgetown's a better job. From a national perspective, you and I grew up in New England. People around here don't remember Dave Gavitt. They don't remember the Providence Civic Center. They don't remember Ernie DiGregorio and Marvin Barnes and Kevin Steakham.
They remember Georgetown.
But they do from a little bit more of a national perspective. The other thing, too, is like Providence College was the only legitimate college basketball program way even before UConn going.
Yes,
Providence College had to go.
Rick Pitino, a good friend of ours.
I love Rick.
We love Rick Pitino.
But here's the deal. How long ago was that?
That was more recent than Georgetown.
It was a long time. That's a long time ago. And so I don't think people nationally look at Georgetown. They look at Georgetown bigger nationally. But I think in the East, just speaking from the East, I agree with you that Providence is not a better job. Georgetown's not a better job. nationally, Georgetown's got a bigger picture.
No coach in the history of the Big East has ever left a Big East job to go to another Big East school. If you're in the Big East, you can win. And especially, you look at what's going on now, Final Four, FAU, San Diego State. You can win anywhere with this new NIL and the way everything works and the transfer portal.
Coach, you just said that on a national level, Georgetown is a bigger brand. It's a bigger deal. If you have to go out there and recruit 5 stars, some of the best players in the entire country, that makes a big difference, right? If you're getting them to Georgetown, if you're saying we have the weight of Georgetown behind us as opposed to Providence, I would imagine that it's an easier job for that reason.
Yeah, that's
what kids care about that now?
I think kids still care about Georgetown.
What high school kid gives a shit about Georgetown?
About Allen Iverson?
Yeah, but
I think a lot.
Yeah, I've the whole Ed Cooley thing, and I liked Ed Cooley. I still do, but it's the way he left. If you're recruiting guys to your new job while you're still trying to coach
on the
your
market,
guy, like that never sat right with me. And you should answer for that, John Fanta. You can't be in the tournament, getting ready for a tournament game, and recruiting for your next school. That is a disservice to the kids you're coaching. Bruce Pearl just put it perfectly. You have to be a father figure. You have to love them as much as you ride them. You can't do that.
I understand what you're saying. And
no, you don't. Because you got to agree fully that you can't do that.
see you trying to sneak your way back.
You're going to
into
use
the good
word
graces.
salad.
This guy, by the way, this guy Kim English.
Will I be allowed to talk?
He's the real deal.
Yeah,
I like him.
First off, I like Kim English. I like Kim English. I love his energy. He's got this mindset idea. Here's the thing. I think that we would be ignorant to say that this is the first case of a coach.
Agreed.
There are backdoor meetings in college sports, whether it be football, basketball, all the time. These coaches who are making their moves,
we're not
they know where
talking
they're
about
going.
those coaches, John.
That's true.
We're talking about Ed Cooley.
We're talking about Ed Cooley.
Wait, I have a real question.
We're not talking about those
trying to confuse us.
I would say Ed Cooley had approached like icon status at Providence. He was attached with the program.
He was the program. Not attached. He was the program.
When is the last time a coach who had achieved that stature at a school like that bounced within the conference?
It's a great question. Well, it's never happened in the Big East. And I think in retrospect, if Ed had to do it over, he would have done things differently. How he handled it could have been handled differently. I'm not sure if there's a good way of handling it. When you are a place, when you literally are a place, Ed Cooley and Providence were the perfect married couple. The breakup was never going to be well done. It was never going to be done well. Could it have been done differently? 100%. 100%. It's on Ed to figure out what Ed wants to do. Okay? I got to tell you, I wouldn't have had the cojones. I wouldn't have had but I'm not a coach, and God forbid if I am a coach, we're not winning. But I'm not a coach, and I don't think I would have. I don't think I would have had the stones to leave Providence, knowing those fans and knowing I got to go back up there. But you know what? He made what he felt was the move for him and his family.
Dave, you got to go to that game.
And there you go.
You got to.
I got a letter. I'm getting letters from the Providence AD. Thank you for the support.
Dave,
people are trying to stomp on Providence.
And I think
John Fanta is trying to run us off the map.
I
won't let it happen. I said I won't let it happen.
I think Coach Pearl. I'm not trying to put him on the spot, but I would say it would it'd be good for college basketball to have Georgetown going again.
Oh, don't do that.
It's a fact. Not
over Providence or anything. It's just like some of these programs, Georgetown being one of them, Louisville's another one that comes to mind. Like there are some programs that are, I know you don't feel bad for anybody because you want to keep beating people. But the fact is there are some programs that need to get off the mat.
Listen, there's no good way to leave.
No.
Like, people say.
No, you've left in good ways.
Well, I got.
Well, yeah, he's behind. He got walked up the doors.
I mean, I got called up to the office, and there's a police officer. I'm like, no, really? Are we really going to do this? Would you like to cuff me as I walk out of my office at Tennessee?
That's the way you do it. If you're going to leave, set up your own sting.
But I just don't think it's ever a great way to leave.
But it's really, and I'm not naive. I know what John Fanta's saying. Coaches will say one thing one day and then they'll leave the next. It's the coaching the kids that you have in the tournament while also recruiting. That's what kind of sits wrong with me. You're in the tournament. You can wait 3 days.
I got it. But here's the deal. In coaching, when we're winning, you're worried we're going to leave and take another job. When we're losing, you're packing our bags. We're out.
That's a great point.
Oh, man, now here we go.
Really? So we
feel bad for these coaches.
That's why being Jeff Fisher is the best.
Let's say at Providence College, he's been an icon. Okay, what are the expectations for him? The expectations for him are to continue to keep Providence at that level. What if he may say, hey, man, I just don't know that I can keep Providence College there. Let me go to Georgetown. I'm going to get 2 or 3 years of a reprieve.
Yeah.
I mean,
but
from
he
his
did
standpoint,
say what he said when he left, which I think is what irked a lot of Providence. I can win the national title here. I could not at Providence. And I think a lot of people that's just
FAU and San Diego State are 2 games away.
That's tough to buy that,
I agree.
including me.
But then that's the other question. Is this the very real question? I, for one, think that the parity will continue. I don't know what you think, but is this a product of the 5th, 6th year, Adam Seiko being in his 6th year at San Diego State? Or, shout out to the Aztec fans who are here, or is this is this something that in 2 years, once this COVID all cycles out, all these COVID years cycle out, that we will see a return to what we've normally had in the Final Four?
There'll be a little bit more a return, I think, of his COVID guys there 5 and 6 years. It's different. So there will be some normalcy. But I think you're going to see coaches trying to stay in that transfer portal. Like right now, you know what I'm doing? I'm portaling.
I know, it's crazy.
It's sort of like, I'm not comfortable with that. I feel like that's weird.
I feel bad for you.
I said that before you came on.
You have to hit, how many times do you have to hit refresh? How many times are you hitting refresh on the portal?
Oh, well, a lot. A lot.
So, Coach,
and was it just you're sending it's like speed dating? Like, hey, Bruce over here, you maybe interested?
If you don't ring that bell day one, you're late. You're late. If you don't ring the bell day one, you're out.
Brian Dutcher, the San Diego State coach, said, "Yeah, I was on the bus over here and I was on a call with a transfer."
I guarantee he was.
His team's still playing.
How do you make yourself stand out in the portal? If you're hitting up a kid and he's getting phone calls from 10 different coaches day one. How do you leave that impression?
I got to imagine, too, a lot of it's money, right?
The impression that I leave is the phone call and the Zoom is easy. Get your ass in the car, get in a plane, and let me show up at your house.
Yeah.
And so for me, I try.
Bag?
No, I don't need the bag. I don't need the bag. We have the NIL. We don't need the bag.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But don't they have to know?
No, first of all, I'm going to start off with, listen, we're going to be competitive in the NIL. If it's just about the bag, then go somewhere else. For real. Like, for me, if you don't want to come in and get coached and try to be a pro, but actually, do some other things like do some Bible study, like do some community service. If you don't want to Saturday morning get out there and clean some old man's yard up, then you need to go play for something else because that's what we're going to do in addition to being a pro. Now, once I talk about those things and then they still want to put up with me, now let's talk about the back.
Because, we're talking about Miami a lot. They are one of the most renowned NIL.
Yes.
They got John Ruiz, the Life Wallet, and they're spending. And look, they're here. They're here.
If you look at the Sweet 16, the teams that were the most aggressive and ahead of it were the ones that jumped into the NIL faster and quicker. Stop and do the analysis. The teams that were in the Sweet 16, it's crazy. And certainly, but Miami deserves credit, both on the women's side and the men's side, for being aggressive.
Yeah.
And what they were doing, is legal according to everything, I know.
I got a random question that I've just always been curious about. Jabari Smith, obviously you coached him last year. He goes and he's a top lottery pick in the draft. How often do you watch him now when he's playing in the NBA? Because those special players that you get to spend a year with, do you have that forever where it's like, oh, Jabari's playing tonight, I'm going to sit down and watch him play in the NBA?
Absolutely. Because if I don't text him after a big game, he's like, why didn't you hit me?
Yeah.
Why didn't you hit me up? Or, absolutely. So I got the NBA package. I never had time for it. But watching Walker Kessler.
Yeah.
How about
he's
Walker?
Been awesome.
Walker Kessler goes from the number 22 pick. He's third in voting for the NBA Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
And he was complete. Last year he comes to Auburn. He was the National Defensive Player of the Year. And he's an All-American. And they missed on him. Jabari, it's all about the intangibles. Like that kid is, first of all, he's only 18 years old. Like he's a really young player. He's the best jump shooting man at 6'10", other than maybe KD I've seen. That's what I feel he is. And he wants to defend. He can block shots. He's got unbelievable outside. And all he wants to do with the Rockets are thrilled with.
Yeah.
I know he got off to a bad start, and so people get to worry. Here's the other thing too. He came to us at about 196 at 6'10".
Wow.
Like it was a bad body. Like not as good as yours, but it was a bad body.
Ricochet shot.
Yeah.
It was really well done.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, this thing is a rotisserie chicken. That was like, I don't know what that was.
But he's put on about 20 really
potato
good
stick.
pounds, and it's hard to be. This is a man, NBA, no boys allowed. Right?
Yeah.
No boys allowed.
I like that.
That's
and,
true.
and quite frankly, at 200 pounds, you're a boy. You're 18 years old, and he's
That's
been
why I
bounced
stay
around.
240. Yeah.
And he's put on some weight. His upside is off the charts.
Yeah.
How important is his success, if at all, to your success? I know that from the outside looks like something recruiting-wise,
Right.
pointing, hey, look at the NBA. We get guys NBA ready.
Yep.
Look at this. Is that
Scoreboard.
Yeah,
Just
right.
scoreboard. People talk all they want. They talk like a lot of coaches. They talk about pace. They play fast. What are you going to go into a home and say you play slow? Like we hold the ball and I don't. guys
Wisconsin,
shoot?
we do that. Yeah.
That's the only.
We're like,
that's
you
the
want to
only
play
one.
slow? We'll play slower than that.
But for me, it's just facts. Like, okay, who have you put in the pros? Where were they ranked? Jabari was supposed to go to the NBA. That was not a great job by us. But Walker wasn't. Isaac Okoro wasn't. Chumo Kiki wasn't. JT Thor wasn't. Sharif Cooper wasn't. When you put guys in like that into the pros and they stay, then you got. And so David does help you. And we do a Zoom call. We do a home visit or something like that. You put that out there, and we've been able to do that with guys that weren't necessarily ranked so high.
Coach Cal does a great job of that. He's always got the jerseys set up in his basement, so whenever he hops on TV, he's got all the number one picks right behind him. So I'm going to put you on the spot. You are wearing an SEC shirt, by the way. You're supporting the conference.
It just means more.
It just means more in the SEC. We're talking about coaches switching inside the conference. Hypothetically, a guy in Kentucky walks away in a year. They call Bruce Pearl. You can win a national championship at the University of Kentucky.
Bruce Pearl's not leaving Auburn to go anywhere in the SEC. That's just
How do
Bruce
you
Pearl.
know?
Because it's happened to me before.
Okay.
And
Who's your source on that?
It's my source. When Cal left Memphis.
And listen, when you do go to Kentucky, John Fanta will be like, Bruce Pearl never said that.
Oh, no, I'm not. No,
He's
listen.
not, because he can win a national championship at Auburn.
But even if Auburn gave me the chance of a lifetime, they brought me out of purgatory. I'm not going anywhere else in the SEC. I'm not. Last year we were number one in the country. There were some jobs that were open. That's just not how I'm built. Now that doesn't mean the loyalty is going to come back the other way. I understand that. I've got a job to do. I got to keep winning. They're paying me really, really well now. But I mean, I didn't make any money in coaching. By the way, the coaches and the money we make right now, for 20 years, I'm an assistant coach. I'm a Division II coach.
I loved you at the Horizon League.
Green Bay.
No, Milwaukee.
Making
UW Milwaukee.
Making $125,000 at 44 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, I got all my friends at BC. They're all they're all already making their first and second million. So these coaches that are where they are right now, they paid their dues.
That was one of
most of us did not get into it for the money. We got into it to teach and for the ministry, and to have John Fanta carry your water.
All-time bad. By the way, we'll take a break.
Yeah, I think the Hooters girls are going to bring up some wings real quick.
All-time bad firing, Ed Skinner, BC. They haven't been the same since.
Al Skinner.
Yeah.
The all-time worst firing at BC.
Listen,
for
don't
sure.
correct Dave.
He had it going on.
He knows what he's saying.
No, I didn't mean it like that.
I took no offense. Skinner was close enough. That was a long time ago.
Dave's never going to get a name right.
I'm bad at names.
I think you got Bruce Pearl's name right, and he was awesome.
Well, Bruce Pearl.
You need to stick around, though, to get.
Bruce Pearl used to be a pretty regular PTI guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
What, they lose your number?
No. No, you're great call. So it's all about your producers, right? It's all about those guys over there. So
because you're great on it, by the way.
The PTI producer was a Tennessee guy. That's why I was on.
How it works.
That's how it works. Yep.
Very good.
TJ, do we have the Hooters girls bringing up the wings before we take a break? Oh, we'll do it after. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's take like a 5-10-minute break.
Oh, high noon.
We're doing a high noon ad first. We got the tequilas. We got the vodkas. Here's the passion. Here's the rankings. Passion fruit, 1 strawberry, 2. This is the tequila. 3 lime, 4 grapefruit. I don't like grapefruit anything. And there's one thing they said I had to read. Visit highnoonspirits.com to find High Noon Tequila Seltzer near you. That was easy. All right, take like a 5-10-minute break.
Yes, thank you to Bruce Pearl.
The best. Thank you guys for
Bruce
coming.
Pearl for president. Great guy. John Fanta better stick around to get his ass chewed out.
Well, he was late.
Whoa, bonk.
Yeah.
No, I was not late.
I want to see it.
I said I'd be here at 5:20, and that's the time I was here.
Not many guys say no to me. He said no. We tried to hire him. He gave me the no.
I love Barstool. I love all you guys. It's great to be here.
Thank you. We'll be back in like 10 minutes.
I love the board this week.
Tequila. High Noon Tequila Seltzer. Real tequila, real juice.
Welcome to Hooters. Let me give you the tour. We got a lot of fans here at Hooters. We got the beer fan, the sports fan, the wing fan, a 12-year-old boy's birthday party. And now, the Hooters Girl.
Can I get back to work?
Wings, beer, football. Hooters.
Drink the busker, and enjoy the game. Smoother than swishing teardrops from the lane. Where bold meets tradition, let them know what they're missing. One sip of busker, remember the name.
Let's go, come on! Let's eat! Woo! Come on! Tuesday!
Pardon My Cheesesteak is a delivery and pickup only restaurant brand bringing you craveable cheesesteaks and loaded fries.
Go to pardonmycheesesteak.com to learn more and order now on DoorDash, Uber Eats, Postmates, or Grubhub.
It's more than just a game. It's that one time all year that I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting to suit up in front of a sold-out crowd and put on a show.
Yeah, April 15th. It's bad news coming for the Cops.
I mean, for that one day, that 60 minutes of hockey, I'm sure they want to kill me, and I want to kill one of them.
We're not just playing for ourselves. We represent, both sides represent their whole department.
The good that comes out of this game is tremendous.
We might have different jobs throughout the city, but overall, we're here to help the city and give back to the community where we work.
I don't think I've hated a team more than FDNY.
Go time.
I don't care who you are. I don't care you're my friend, you're not my friend. I'm out there to win. I'm not out there to lose in front of, 30,000 people.
This is it right here. Right here. This is what it comes down to right now.
Somewhere on the other side of the world, I found something special. And in order to bring the wonders of the world home, I would fight. I would stop at nothing to accomplish a dream, tormented by what I knew was possible. The perfect cup of coffee. Stella Blue Coffee. It's just really good coffee.
I would never, ever, 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 ever bet on green.
Get over. Bucks.
Yeah! Fuck you, coin boys, but this isn't about that.
Oh! He's not gonna beat me the coins, baby.
9, 12.
Okay.
13.
Good.
14.
Good.
15.
Good.
That's crazy. Oh my god, and I got 21.
See you later.
I'm comfortable in jeans that stretch.
I'm comfortable in jeans that are comfortable.
I'm comfortable
in.
When you need clutch, Muggsy Clutch Jeans are the only jeans you should trust. They're f***ing tough. They're f***ing comfortable. Guaranteed. Real clutch jeans sold only at Muggsy.com.
Oh,
Nice to meet
no.
you.
Are we live?
Yes.
We're
Well,
live.
Yeah. What's up, man?
as live as
We
we're
got
going to be.
We have another special guest here, Nolan Smith, but we first have Jake. Jake, what do you got for us? Here he comes with a big check.
Electric.
Jake Marsh, everyone.
Very cool, Jake.
Let's clap it up for Jake. What?
Solution. They help you figure out where to get government money, like tax credits, this, that. If you need to help small business save money, OmegaTaxCredit.com.
Would you consider converting to them?
You're good. I saw Justin Thomas at Ultra.
All right, hello everybody. This is the Omega Accounting Solutions stat of the day. Omega Accounting Solutions is the small business champion. Tackle tax credits with Omega. Visit OmegaTaxCredits.com/Barstool Sports or call 855-505-DAVE. So, this is the fourth time that the city.
Jake, step out from behind the check so people can see you.
Let's see
Let's
Jake
get
Marsh.
some.
There he
This is the
is.
fourth time that the city of Houston is hosting the Final Four. The first in 1971, UCLA over Villanova. 2011, UConn beat Butler here in Houston. And 2016, Chris Jenkins, Villanova over North Carolina. So some Big East success in this city on this stage before.
I wasn't sure if it was reading.
Wait, was this a
Yeah, I thought it was a trivia question.
Is it a trivia question?
Dave, I was locked in, like trying to think, like what.
Who do they play? Who do they play?
No, it's true.
Okay, all right, yes.
Those are facts.
Just
facts. Just facts.
Yeah, so Big East success. UConn's won it here 12 years ago.
That's facts.
That's our Omega Accounting Solutions stat of the day.
Okay.
Miami used to be in the Big East.
Tomorrow,
A long time ago.
Tomorrow,
That's a
let's
fact.
change
Long
the Omega fact to the Omega trivia question.
Yeah.
Noted.
Yes,
Try
that
to
would be
stump
good.
us.
Yeah, that would be great.
Is someone getting that check?
That's a big check.
That's a huge
$26,000 to small businesses.
Wow.
Yeah, if you are eligible, some small
So and I've been doing the ad read. So if you go to
OmegaTaxCredits.com/Barstool
yeah, you can
Sports.
fill out a survey, and if you're a small business, you may be eligible for COVID stuff, and they give $26,000 per employee. So that's what the check is for.
Jake Marsh, everyone.
Shout out Omega.
Shout out Jake
What a
Marsh.
read.
Enjoy the Final
Good
Four.
job, Jake.
Great job, Jake.
That was electric.
Okay, we're back.
Yeah, we're back. Rico?
Joined by Nolan Smith, University of Louisville.
So now,
Former member of Duke.
Yeah.
National champion.
Yes, sir.
also
Trailblazer.
a proud member of the Rico Bosco Weird Selfie Club, which I saw yesterday. Now, I want to know how that comes about, because I see it, and I texted Dan, I go, I'm physically ill looking at Rico's Twitter feed, because he's like a little kid at camp. He's a Make-A-Wish kid, just going up and be like, hey, so how does he get that selfie of you?
Well, it typically happens where somebody who is a fan of mine, who appreciates what I've done with the game, comes up and says, hey, can I get a picture?
Yup.
Yeah.
I say, of course. I would love to take a picture with you, and then bow. He throws his arm up, and we take a good picture.
And then
But Rico was like, hey,
Well, what did Rico do?
I'm just a
know
kid.
Well, I
Rico
got the
was?
picture.
Like, I'm
I
just
needed the picture as a Duke fan, but then, yeah, I sold them.
He's
well,
like,
you're
I'm
not.
not-
Time out. You're not a Duke fan.
Yeah. But did Rico do anything else? Was he like, hey, I'm like 120th on a liver transplant. I don't have long to live.
Nah,
like,
he didn't
make my life.
He didn't give me a sad story.
Okay,
He just
all
asked,
right.
asked for a picture.
Did you know who he was?
I did not.
Okay.
Is it typically like a kid, or is it usually like
He's a
a
Make-A-Wish
30-something-year-old man?
Well, you'll be surprised. It ranges, right? Old, young, right? A little bit of everything. I've seen it all. I've seen
Well,
it
did
all.
you think there was something like wrong with him, or he like, oh, he like that's cute?
We're trying to build back the program. I sold, he had an opportunity for press.
So how did you like? How do you go from, oh, that I did like a good deed by taking a picture with this guy, to like you guys now got in contact and you're here? So like, where does it go from like, wait a minute, maybe he's not a Make-A-Wish kid?
That's on
Is
you.
this what they do
Every
to you?
day.
Is this what they do to you?
I'm the walk-on permanently. Like, I never.
What's
now
wrong
they
with
give
that?
the guy the scholarship and they clap.
Hey, look.
Well, yeah, but you got to a
what's wrong-
national championship game. I'm still the fucking guy carrying the bags.
Yeah.
At least you.
But
and you have an NIT
curious.
watch.
How does it go from a fan picture to like?
Well, I sold it. I say, hey, no, I know what you do. rebuilding year, obviously.
Yep.
Couple of 3-stars coming in. Like, this would be good press. Obviously good for social. You familiar with these guys?
my
He said, yeah, I know them.
Well,
You
5
said
stars.
it too. He
Five
said
stars.
Yeah, what
you
he
said.
said. He said, I'm
That's
all for
the 5
rivals.
stars coming
the
in.
phone's been working.
5
I
stars
haven't,
coming
I haven't
in.
seen rivals.
That was mean, Rico. What you just did.
I haven't seen rivals. I
You
haven't
went
been on
right to
rivals.
3-star.
3 stars to Louisville
To
is
say,
like pretty
to say like,
insulting.
they're doing great 3 stars.
And they're Louisville.
Yeah.
You're not
Say
talking
4
about.
stars.
You're not talking about community college. This is Louisville.
Wait, did Ohio State ever play Duke when you were there? Because you guys were what year were you at Duke? 2009 was your last year?
2011.
11 was your last year.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we ever played Duke.
all right.
No.
Never did.
What do you think of Duke fans who say the program died and they no longer root for Duke once Coach K left? Like the guy to your left, for example.
No. Hank said that.
No,
not
you
me.
said that.
No, I said at the end, Krzyzewski did some stuff that even as a Duke lover got tough.
Yeah.
Such
Working
as?
the refs, yelling at the media, like.
Wait, that was the line?
Yeah.
Do you know the name Pete Goddard at all, Nolan Smith? We could get into it. Do you know him?
I do.
Okay, yeah. Justice for him. He just had to hold all of Coach K's L's when he had a back injury and was recruiting from his house the entire year. We could do it all. We'll talk off.
You still have a card? Last year at the Final Four, you had
Yeah.
a little card with all the facts.
Yeah. Coach K did
We
a
were
lot of
handing out
things.
anti-Coach K.
Yeah.
cards.
Yeah.
Well, no, I don't think Duke died. Obviously, when a legend leaves, yes, it changes, but the brand is still the same.
The brotherhood.
The brotherhood is still the
Gotta
same.
say the brotherhood.
Everything's still intact, and you got a really good coach in John Shire. So, but the main thing is the brand. That's not going anywhere. What Coach K built there, the brotherhood, is strong. And obviously, they're still bringing in the talent and still going to keep rolling.
I actually think John Shire, I think he had a comment at some point this season where he was like, we're going to try to get back to old school Duke of recruiting guys that are going to stay a little longer to build up the roster, which I agree with. I think that's the advantage now.
And then you watch the McDonald's game.
Yeah,
and they have
that's
all
true.
The guys that are going to go one and done.
But I'm curious because
everybody says that, and then the second, like one of the top 5 guys is like,
It's
I'm
true.
interested in your school. You say, I'll take you.
It's
okay,
basically,
fine.
can we
Never
find
mind.
a guy who's not good enough for the NBA who wants to play college basketball? For
Yes.
years?
Yeah.
But with Louisville, you probably have to tackle that because like the teams that have juniors and seniors to be part of the program and not just like the one and done guys are usually more successful.
Yeah, definitely. Man, as you see right now here in Houston at the Final Four, all 4 teams are very old.
Yeah.
They're experienced. They know how to win. They've been in the games. FAU, they're experienced. They know how to win. That's why they're here, right? So you're looking for older guys. Like Coach Pearl just said, the transfer portal is a huge hit right now. You're getting guys that have done it. They've done it at a high level. That's what a lot of coaches are looking for. The one and done thing, it's not going to go away. Every kid right now, when they step on the court, they think they're a one and done. They want a chance to go to the NBA when they're 18, 19 years old because that's what the NBA guys are saying. We want young. We want guys that we can develop with a lot of potential. But at the end of the day, it still takes time to develop your game. So you're going to get guys that might come back. And if you decide not to go back, it's okay. We got the transfer portal. We can go old.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't ask Coach Pearl. We can ask you. I thought it was interesting. And people may raise their eyebrows. I think one of the great geniuses of like the last 30, 50 years in everything is LeVar Ball. Like what he actually did. When you sit back and look, he's like, I'm going to get my 2 kids. I'm going to make them NBA, like lottery picks. And he kind of, he hogged the spotlight.
He built his own league.
And and then once he got the kids, he kind of went back. It's like he did what he said he was going to do. But he had a quote recently, I think it was about Bronny. He's like, why do you want to go to college? Why don't you just go to the G League? Like, I'm not trying to get my kid to go to chemistry class when he's not there to go to chemistry. And to be honest, I kind of agree with it. I don't know, maybe Bronny, he's a little different because, that they're so well off. You maybe want the college experience. But if I was a college
I don't know.
What do the co-eds look like at G League Ignite?
That's true.
How many hot chicks are walking around the campus at G League Ignite?
And also, Dave, the only thing, that could work for a few kids.
I think these players can. But I'm not one of these. He's probably the best one to answer that. I don't want to dismiss the playing career.
You can dismiss it.
But I'm guessing these college kids can do all right with the ladies, whether they're in the G League or they're at a college.
Well, where do you sit, making them wait a year? If the kid's ready to go to the league, don't you think it's a waste of time to make them go to college as a rental?
100%.
That's an NBA rule, though.
Yeah, that's an NBA rule.
That's not the college.
That's the NBA.
That's Adam Silver.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. No. You're right. You're right. I just
yeah.
think the way people talk about the one and done, they crap on colleges and they say they're making these kids go to college.
What do you think prepares a kid better for the NBA? G League or 1 year college?
I think the Ask Nolan. I mean, he's going to say college, right?
I think 1 year of college.
Yeah.
But here's the other thing, Dave.
I think 1 year of college.
You have to be
Specifically at
You have to
Louisville.
be really sure if you're going to the G League that you're going to be a lottery.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because if you're not going to be a lottery pick,
Dave,
you're
let's
kind
do
of
it this
screwing
way.
yourself.
I'll say the best guy that played in college. You say the best guy that played in the G League. Michael Jordan played in college. You go. Who's the best guy that ever played in the G League?
This is a new, Jordan wasn't, I mean, I don't even know anyone who played in the G League. The Ball, right? Did Ball?
No.
Did he play overseas?
I think
no.
The son that's overseas right now. I think
LeAngelo's trying to play for the Breakers.
Yeah.
This year you have Scoot Henderson, who's obviously really good.
Scoot's good.
Yeah.
He's really
going to
good.
be a top pick.
I would go play New Zealand. I would play for New Zealand Breakers. They're a great team owned by fantastic people.
2 lottery picks last year were G League. I just think that you have to be very sure you're going to be a lottery pick. Yeah.
Jalen Green.
Because if you're not a lottery pick, and
I was
screw
watching
that
the
up,
McDonald's game. I got everything in my head. What's wrong with Louisville?
Well, actually,
we're building.
Let's cut right to the.
We are building.
But is Louisville is a premier blue blood program.
Yep.
Did you guys and they are?
No,
I don't think
Louisville.
I think if UConn wins this Final Four,
top tier. I don't know.
They're not
blue. Everybody gets crazy about blue blood. Blue blood's like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Louisville's top tier forever. Always been good.
100%.
Always been.
Kentucky's a basketball state.
Hey, look, what else?
I think Louisville's pretty close to it. No.
They don't have enough titles for blue blood.
Purvis.
Remember they got that one taken away.
They got 3. I mean, honestly, you'll say 2, but it's 3. We all know it.
Michigan won that title.
Like Coach Patino said, it
You're
happened.
talking to Michigan alums. That's gonna be
Michigan got more screwed because they called the block a foul. But whatever.
Well, look, what I'll say is obviously I left Duke, right? Which is a hard thing to do. I left a very comfortable situation to go to a place that I knew we had to build. I wanted that challenge. Kenny Payne, myself, Danny Manning, Coach Josh Jameson, we wanted this challenge. It's Louisville basketball, right? Everybody knows Louisville basketball, and when Louisville basketball is great, it's great for college basketball, right? My dad played at Louisville, 1980 national champion. It's a big reason why I went home. I'm born in Louisville. I love the program. I've seen the players come to that program. I've seen the pros. It's a city that loves basketball. The Yum Center holds 20,000 plus. It's a big-time place for basketball. We're going to get it rolling. We're excited about it. Players are now seeing it. The cloud is gone with the NCAA allegations. We're free.
That was a good pitch. I'd go play for Louisville.
Hey, look,
that was a good pitch.
Are you and your dad the only father-son to win titles?
There's been 2, I think, to win it.
Okay.
Good trivia question.
I forget the other. I think Sean May and Scott May.
Sean May and Scott May.
I think they won it or went to the Final Four.
Scott May won it.
I think they won it, right?
Yeah.
Scott May and Sean May won it. Myself and my dad won it.
That's a great trivia question.
Obviously, my dad and I won in the same city. Now that's a little different.
Yeah.
Do you ever, as an objective college basketball fan, look back on 2010 and think that do you ever see it through the eyes of everyone else and think it would have been sick if Gordon Hayward made that shot?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Absolutely.
That actually would have been kind of sick.
That would have
guy hit a half-court shot.
That's what you're thinking about when you're in the locker room before the game. You're thinking about if we lose the Butler, the whole world's going to be happy as hell. Yeah. The whole world.
Yeah.
So, and we're playing a road game. We're in Indianapolis. You know, that whole tournament run, we played 2 road games. We played Baylor here in Houston. Right, in the Elite 8. That was a road game versus a very good Baylor team. And then obviously playing Butler in Indianapolis was a road game.
The committee never takes care of Duke. It's just incredible how this committee just poor they got it out for Duke.
Hey, look.
Can you believe he told him to miss the free throw?
Would
you have ever done that?
It was the first time, I think, in my career with Coach K that I looked at him like, what the hell are you talking about?
Crazy.
Because he yells out, he's like, Zoobs, miss it.
Yeah.
And he just made the first one. We look, we're like, what? But at that time, he talked to us after. He said Lance Thomas had 4 fouls, Zubek had 4 fouls, and we're playing a road game. He's like, what are the chances of somebody hitting a half-court shot? You know, it's a 1%.
That was
1% chance.
Incredible. That makes me so mad.
That was a bad call by Coach K.
Yeah.
That shot should have gone in.
Would you have done it? Would you have told him to miss?
I'm saying make the shot.
Yeah.
I'm saying make the shot, and we set up our press. And whatever.
You foul up 3.
Whatever
happens, all right.
I always foul.
Say you tell your guy to make it, but then he misses it. And in the post-game press conference, are you saying I told him to make it, or are you saying that's what I told him to do? Are you throwing your guy under the bus?
We know what Coach
That's a tough.
He would not.
That's like the toughest situation to be in as a coach. Do I want to look stupid, or do I want to throw my guy under the bus?
Right.
Yeah.
Nah, you always take the fall.
How often do you wear your ring?
Not often.
That you don't actually
Not
wear.
often.
Because it feels like everybody that plays basketball, you're just like dying to win a ring, and you want to win a ring. We got to get a ring. We got to get a ring. And then I feel like guys get them and they don't ever wear them.
You never wear them. I think mine's in the bank somewhere in a safe.
Do you wear your NIT ring?
Yeah, I wear the watch all the time. Yeah, the NIT watch. Only when I'm at the NIT though.
When you're with the Brotherhood, are there hierarchies of the Brotherhood? Like if you won a ring, it's like those are the guys?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's always an ongoing joke of what guys can come back to Duke and do whatever they want. Right? Oh, you got a ring. Oh, you can go in the camera and do whatever you want. Nobody's going to say a word. I didn't get a ring. But there's a couple exceptions. J.J. Redick is an exception.
Okay.
He's J.J.
You went back, I assume, for the big Brotherhood game, which North Carolina ended his career and all that.
Yep,
Where was your seat within the Brotherhood?
Well, I was on the staff then.
Oh, you were?
I was on staff there. Yeah, I was there during that time.
That was such an awesome game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So awesome.
So it was a very tough game, and I'll say
So awesome.
Dan's got it on.
It was the best.
So
I buried Coach K. I put him in a grave.
It was very tough, and I'll say from my feelings towards my players, it was the hardest thing in the world for those young men to be put in that situation. Right? There's game pressure. But then you bring in all the former players.
Yeah.
You bring in this whole parade of Grant Hill.
Yeah. It's almost like doing an entire retirement tour that everyone just goes sucks your dick for 12 months is not good. That's a great point.
It was very tough. So for Carolina in that situation, there was no pressure on them.
So then what would you explain then, though, when they beat you again?
Oh, they did it twice,
oh,
Dave?
That was fair
Dave,
and square.
they beat him twice?
That was fair and
They
square.
beat him twice?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
That was fair and square. Final Four, big stage.
What was his speech? We actually sold shirts.
Oh, when he was like, stop that, stop clapping. He's like, it's not okay.
It's not about me.
Shut up. Louisville, your speech on Louisville, like I'm bought in. And I have a little soft spot for Louisville this year because I watched you guys in the Maui, and I was like, oh, these guys are really bad. And I bet against you for like 2 months. That you guys, you're gonna bring.
By the way,
give that speech to kids, like they're in.
Credit to Louisville. They were pretty frisky down the end of the season.
They did turn the corner a little. Yes,
absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, you got some wins and played very tough down the season. I mean, they were losing by 50 in the beginning of the season. They were very good down the end.
Sign of a good stand.
I'm still on this blue blood thing. Like, I think Louisville's more of a blue blood than UConn.
Dave, they're about.
I think if UConn wins, they get
title
the
in
blue
25.
No, UConn is relatively, in my mind, still newish.
No, see, I think the Blue Bloods are, and you could. I'm pretty hard on it. It's Duke, it's UNC, it's Kansas,
UCLA.
it's Kentucky, and UCLA.
I thought,
and then maybe Indiana.
I thought all the Blue Bloods were blue.
That's true. It could be. Then maybe Indiana, and then Villanova has it.
So you might have red bloods. You have to add red bloods.
Yeah, we should make a red bloods category.
I don't even know
Wait,
if that's
that is
true.
No, he's right. All of them are blue that I just listed besides Indiana.
Yeah, is that just a coincidence?
That's why Villanova's a blue blood.
Villanova's definitely not a blue blood.
They're more than Louisville.
Indiana's a blue blood.
It's so funny.
I would say so.
It's the dumbest argument to have because it's just an arbitrary line that everybody else has. Like everyone's got their own definition of what a blue blood is.
Like UConn, Villanova to me are new blue bloods.
They're new
Those
bloods.
are new powers. Louisville has what was your dad, I guess, in Purvis. So that's the 70s. What
80s?
Yeah. They've got tradition. They've got a deep, rich tradition.
Correct.
At
Yeah, right. That's what I would.
Bunch of Final Fours.
I think you're right, though. I think you hit the nail on the head. They're just blue. It's all blue.
Nolan Smith just like completely.
I was very confused.
You just
by
like
that.
knocked over the entire argument. You're like, isn't it just blue? We're
very
you're
dumb.
right.
Key word blue.
You're right. You're
Word
right.
is blue and
Fuck.
blue blood.
Go ahead.
I was going to ask it's an important basketball question. If you got to look at the Louisville mascot, like the logo that they have, how come it's got teeth? Birds don't have teeth. We went on Kentucky Sports Radio, and we were educated about the fact that birds don't have teeth, yet the Louisville Cardinal does. Have you ever thought about that? Ever crossed your mind?
I haven't until now.
You should think
so
about
now I'm going to think about this for a long time. Why our bird has teeth.
We had a Kentucky radio sports caller just call. He's like, birds don't have teeth. Like, this is bullshit. And he just went off. It was so, we were like, this guy's right.
Also underrated, one of the best rivalry moves ever was Papa John. Lifelong Louisville fan. Like the stadium was named as Papa John Stadium. He got in that trouble, showed up in Kentucky blue.
Nolan,
that's unbelievable.
You're now coaching at a conference rival from where you played, obviously. Mark Madsen is a Stanford legend, just took the Cal job.
Oh, he did. Good for him.
Did you see that?
Yeah, Utah Valley.
To your point about flip-flopping, Mark Madsen, Stanford basketball
That's actually
legend,
kind of
is now the head coach at Cal. I felt like it was a little fucked.
I don't think that's fucked.
But like,
but they're rivals.
So I guess is there any amount of money that North Carolina could offer you to be their head coach?
Oh, good question.
That you would take that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm married. I got 2 kids. At the end of the day, it's about my family and it's business.
Yeah.
There we go.
I'm sorry. I mean,
good answer.
I'm just trying to get inside the head of a coach because
It would be fucked if Duke's like, hey, here's the job, North Carolina, and then he picked
Carolina.
But if only one job is available,
If that's
to me,
it,
that's
I
not.
gotta go.
Yeah,
I gotta
that's
go.
not bad. I don't think that's bad.
I gotta think about my kids.
All right,
I gotta think about my
Fair
kids.
answer. That's
You
very
start
fair
bringing kids into it. What are the rest of us supposed to say? You know,
Yeah.
we're just like, all right, damn it.
Yeah, no,
You got me there.
that to me is a no-brainer. You have to if it's the only job.
Rico, can you do a quick Bosco and 1 with
Yeah,
Nolan?
we could do a few. So
All
we
right.
played a couple years in the league. Obviously, we were kind of ragging on Houston being spread out. What's the best city to travel to in the league and the worst?
The best city to travel to is obviously Miami's one.
President.
Toronto.
Toronto is a great city.
Houston.
Great city.
You like it here?
Houston. Houston's 3.
That's just kiss up. There's no chance.
Oh, he could be a strip club guy.
I love Houston people. The city stinks for like
Why
travel.
do you think James Harden loved it here?
Yeah,
They like
strip clubs. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
James Harden, like Houston, is definitely 3. And then 4th city, D.C.
Okay.
What about-
worst? Bosco and 1's cooking.
We'll do the worst. Yeah, do the worst.
You just said
Worst?
Utah.
Memphis. Memphis is 1. San Antonio 2.
They like.
No, they like. Yeah,
I think San Antonio is a great host city. It's all together, walking, like.
It's pretty cool, but there's nothing to do as an NBA player. You're trying to get there. You're trying to go out. There's not much to do. Oklahoma City is probably 3.
All right, go ahead. One more Bosco and 1. This is a live taping of Bosco.
Yeah, so
and
you
1.
obviously you got everybody gassed up about Louisville, like you sold us. What's the exciting thing coming in as far as some of these freshmen or guys returning? Like, what's the key that people be excited
Good
about
question,
Louisville?
Rico.
Bosco and 1. Bosco and 1.
I thought I firmly believe now is one of my guys.
Bad
I'll go-
question.
Yeah, no, it
Louisville's
was, but
back.
we got to pump them up. Bosco and 1.
That was a bad question.
Nolan, talk to us about
Who's
a
the-
bunch of 18-year-olds we don't know.
That was a bad question. We got a
All
live
right, so
audience.
put it this way. What's the key? So you obviously had a bad year last year. What's going to be the key to a turnaround next year?
Bad. That was also bad.
Try again. One more.
That's what I got.
No, one more. Come
what I
on.
got.
You got one more.
I'm trying to sell the program.
You got one more. You got one more.
These
Come
are
on.
two like typical like. What's going to be the turnaround next year? No one wants to hear that.
What? Give us one. Give us one good question. Come on, you got it.
Who's going to win?
That's all I got.
Who's going to win, Rico?
Nolan, I'll ask you a question.
I'm
Bosco,
excited about Louisville.
a big cat from Bosco and 1 here. You from Louisville.
Yep.
Kentucky Derby coming up.
Yep.
Were you like a horse racing guy from the get-go? Is horse racing that much of a religion in the state of Kentucky?
It is in the state of Kentucky. It's new for me. I went to my first Derby last year.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Right.
Yeah,
From
first
there?
My first one. I'm
Wow,
from there.
and see that? We put that on a
I
clip.
go
we
every
put
year.
that on a clip. Nolan Smith had never been to the
Yeah.
Derby.
Never been.
Do you
first
see my
one.
reaction? I was amazed. That was
Crazy.
like,
We just got a headline.
Just say good question.
We just got a headline.
I liked your question.
I know.
I like it. So,
We're doing the Make-A-Wish thing again. Good question, Rico. I liked your question. It was good.
I'm gonna need.
I hope you get a new heart.
I'm gonna need a remote ops job in
hey,
like 2
so
minutes.
a big thing with Derby is obviously getting dressed, right?
Yeah.
So right before I come out here, my wife comes in and she bought all these new dresses. She's like, "Babe, you're gonna kill me. These were really expensive." I'm like, "How much were they?" She's like, "Don't worry about it." I'm like, "Okay." All right, well, so now I have to get a suit. I have to match her. I have to match her fly. So that's all part of it. I'm going to get a nice hat.
Yep.
Do it up. So I can't wait to take my wife to her first Derby, watch the horses run. I will say it is definitely the most exciting 2 minutes in sports.
Yes.
So you're preaching a horse, guys. I go every
man.
year. I love it.
It
I
was
love
big time. I'm not a betting guy. I don't bet. I'd rather keep the little bit of money that I have. But it
Well,
was amazing.
let's take that a step further. If you were, what do you think about the Final Four? If you're picking a team to come out of this.
Ooh. So it's a
Good question, Dave. Dave's also from Bosco and 1.
It's a big time Final Four. So first of all, I love Miami. Miami's guards are big time. Wong and Pack, they are dangerous. And I said I had them pick to come here from the get-go. They can score the ball.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hooters wings.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Hooters Girls. Clap up for the Hooters Girls.
I like that.
Yes.
That's a great koozie. Great koozie.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Bounce into Hooters for best wings, biggest beers, and your favorite Hooters Girls.
So the matchup between UConn and Miami, obviously everybody's saying the winner is going to win the whole thing,
Yes.
right? UConn is a big-time team. They're huge. They have great bigs inside. They have the European big, the African big. They're really big inside. Number 24, Jordan Hawkins. He's from the DMV. He's from the DMV, PG County. If anybody's seen the documentary In the Water, DMV, we breed special players. He's one of those guys. He's very special, can shoot the ball. Kind of reminds me of Ray Allen out there with his size and his abilities. I'm not going to pick a team because I see UConn, I see Miami out here. I'm not going to choose right now. I'm just going to say both teams have advantages. So Miami can go small and spread UConn out. UConn can go big and hammer them inside. It's going to be a big-time game. On the other side, San Diego State, FAU, obviously two really good teams, two old teams. I don't know too much about FAU. Obviously, you don't watch FAU until here they are with 30-plus wins. They play great basketball. They're old. They're well-coached. I love the way they play. I love their fight. I love how together they are because the one thing about winning the championship is going to be the most together team. The most together team is always going to win. And all four of these teams are obviously very together, but who's been together the longest, who knows each other the most, who's going to really get together when these lights get bright, because this is the biggest stage in college basketball, right? So who's going to be nervous, who's going to be on the stage, palms sweating, missing shots. We'll see who's really made to win this thing. So I'm very excited about this Final Four. All four teams are really good. They wouldn't be here if they weren't. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Coach,
all right.
I know you're trying to reload at Louisville right now, and there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. But what do we have to look forward to next year? We got a young players that are going to make
That's a great question.
Good question.
That's a great question.
Good question, PFT.
Who are we excited about next year?
Well, so we have some big-time players come. I don't know if I can say any names yet.
Why? Are they not officially committed?
Not officially signed yet, so I can't speak on it until
Sky Clark, I'll say. Five-star, we're excited about.
Y'all can say it, I can't.
I'll say it, Sky Clark.
Are you nervous about getting players yoinked from you right up to the point they sign? By the way, what does signing actually do?
Yeah,
are you legally bound to it?
No, you don't. You can easily keep
no.
it.
You can easily say you can get out. The thing is, no coach in the world will say, "Oh, I'm not letting you out of your letter of intent."
Yeah.
Right. That'd be a very bad look for any coach in the country.
But do you are you worried even if a guy signs, especially in this day and age, that a different program's trying to come in and swoop him?
No, I'm not. I'm very
That's cocky for a team that had like 4 wins last year.
I'm very confident in who I am as a recruiter, who our staff is as recruiters.
Are you the lead recruiter?
We all are. It's teamwork.
Because
It sounds like you are.
Because we were talking about Bruce Pearl, and it really does, in this new age, I guess if you're good at it, it's advantage. But with the portal NIL, it's like you're getting recruited. You got to recruit your guys every year, basically, right?
Yep.
Oh, man.
No, so you're always working.
Yeah.
You're always working.
Dave's been getting fired up, Nolan, about Ed Cooley going to Georgetown. As a DC guy, what is your read on that, him leaving Providence? Because, basically Dave's been fighting with everybody that, Georgetown is not that much better of a program than Providence.
I'd say not at all better.
Not at all better.
In fact, I'd say Providence
what is Georgetown, as a guy who grew up, or, is Georgetown, is that, yeah.
Well, just growing up in the D.C. area, Georgetown is Georgetown. It's Georgetown Hoyt. It's Allen Iverson. It's the shorts. You know that uniform. You know that logo.
Yeah.
You know D.C. You know Georgetown. So for me, Georgetown's another one of those schools that when they're good and they're rolling back to the Big East days when they had Jeff Green, Roy Hibbert, all these players coming through.
Who was the
great
coach?
days.
Who was coaching?
John Thompson.
Still third.
Yeah, third. His son. Yeah.
Those were really good days for college basketball. The Georgetown Syracuse rivalry.
Do you think Cooley has stepped up considerably going from Providence to, because that was kind of where we.
So as far as name brand, absolutely.
Yeah.
Name brand, absolutely. I mean, as a basketball person, my humble opinion, when you hear Georgetown, it's like, oh, that's Georgetown. You think Allen Iverson right away. When you hear Providence, what are you going to think right away? Yeah, you got to think a little bit. Right?
Billy Donovan.
Right? You got to think a little
Rick
bit.
Pitino.
Doris Burke. Doris Burke.
Yeah, they got Gomes. Listen, Providence fan base, and I don't care what people say. This is why I keep doing it. Providence cares more about Providence basketball than Washington cares about Georgia. But Washington barely cares about their professional team.
They don't. They care more about Georgetown than they do about the Wizards.
But do they care about Georgetown?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, Georgetown basketball.
They got a loyal fan base. They haven't been great in a while.
In the DC area,
once they're rolling, they'll definitely come out.
It's a college basketball.
So
city.
if you were a head
about
coach, this is the gist of my argument. I think it's just as easily to win a national championship at Providence as it is at Georgetown. When Coley left, he essentially said, in so many words, I can now compete for a national title, as if he couldn't at Providence, and I reject that totally. You're a Big East school. You're competitive. They've been very good with other coaches. They got a history of coaches. You can win at Providence. What more do you need at Providence? They have their own city. They got a huge facility. They're willing to pay. Why can't you win at why can you win at Georgetown but not Providence? I don't believe that's true at all.
So I think what a coach is looking for at that moment, right? And let me say this: shout out to Kim English. Happy for him.
I love him.
He's big time. He's big time. But I think for Coach Cooley, you're trying to align yourself with a big time brand, right? Everything comes down to aligning yourself with a big time brand. Georgetown brand right now is probably here compared to Providence. So I think that's where he looks at it.
So he's in so many words, I would say a coward. You don't have the faith in your skills, because before Calhoun got to UConn, were they a big time brand? Before Jimmy Boeheim went to Syracuse, were they a big time brand? Single coach.
That was like 100 years ago.
Well, it's a good point though.
Yeah,
I think Villanova. They had Massimino, but till Jay Wright went there,
it's
were they a brand?
It's a very fair point to say that the circumstances and the excuses that he made for why he left might not hold up, but Georgetown is a much bigger brand on a national level than Providence is.
Nolan, I got a question that's different than this. I just found my old fact sheet. In 2007, were you on the team when you guys lost to Virginia Tech at Cameron?
2007, Virginia Tech and Cameron.
All right, well, either way, do you remember Coach K went up to Xavier Dowdell on the Hokies and said, "You're too classy to be celebrating like that," to a college kid? Okay, all right.
That was the buzzer beater.
Yeah. So any thoughts on that, scolding another player from a different team? Would you do that?
How are you most like? How are you most like Coach K? What is the coaching thing you do that you're like, this is? Coach would love that I do this.
Oh yeah, that's a good question. I also like
what's the one thing where you're like, I like Coach probably sees a little bit of himself in me in the way that I would handle this.
That's a great question. I think I'm very different than Coach K, but I've learned a lot from him.
You work the refs?
Yeah.
You a ref worker?
I love refs. I love refs.
If you ever get a chance to coach Team USA, will you just coach it once and then pass it on, because that's what most coaches do?
Will you
hog it for 3 different cycles and be like, look at all my gold medals?
Will you also wait to say yes to Team USA when all the best players in the world decide they want to play for Team USA?
And then use your contacts to Coach USA to get recruits so you can stay relevant? Would you do that?
I'm hogging.
Okay, all right. I rest my case.
That's one thing I'll do that's like Coach K. I'm hogging it too.
Okay, you admit that you hogged it.
We've brought up Kim English a couple times. So he beats the guy one-on-one to come back.
Yep, on Instagram.
It was awesome. Don't get me wrong. I watched it. I was like, that's fucking awesome. But then I started thinking about it. I was like, if the coach is better than the player, do we want this player?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, timeout. But, he said early, what wins? Old. Like, Kim English isn't that old. Like, I'm sure you could beat a bunch of his players.
You might have started this year,
I still play.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I still play.
So yeah, like Nolan, if you beat your players one-on-one, aren't you, instead of being like, this is a good bonding moment, aren't you like, these guys are some bums? Like, I don't want these dudes.
No.
Like, if you're letting my old ass beat you, like, why are?
Nah, not at all. So I'm 30,
Okay.
I'm 34.
All right.
I'm experienced. I know the game. I have so many tricks
Okay.
that these young fellas haven't learned yet. So I might have lost a step in speed. I would not take it personal or be like, oh man, this kid's terrible because he can't beat me.
Is there any kid on the roster right now that can beat you?
That can?
Yeah.
No.
One-on-one.
So you got to get it. And you guys lost a lot of games.
No. And I'm still competitive, man. When I was back at
PFT, watching Louisville this year, I don't think there's a guy on that roster that could beat me, honestly.
We're reloading.
I don't want to trash Louisville. Louisville was much, much better towards the end.
Yeah, no, they got – and also this is like one of those stories where you go on to coach for 20, 30, 40, hopefully as long as you want to coach. You can basically tell your kids, I was on a 4-win Louisville team. I've seen, the bottom, and I've gotten back up.
Yeah.
Because it can't always be rosy.
No, not at all. It's definitely going to be part of my journey.
Yeah.
Just walking around Houston with all these college coaches walking around. Everybody's coming to me, giving me hugs. Man, how you doing, man? I know you've never lost like that in your life.
Yeah.
But I tell everybody, it's part of my story. It was, like I said, going there was part of the journey, and it was a beautiful challenge for me to, one, become a better coach, to challenge myself as a coach, how my scouts are. Everything had to be different. But at the end of the day, how do I love these young men? And yes, it's hard to look at a player when you keep losing. But for me, I had to figure out ways to continue to motivate them, keep them coming back. And like you said, we got better as the year went along.
Yeah.
We kept pushing them. We kept working. We kept coming to the gym early in the morning.
And even effort, to be honest, when you have that record, the effort
can fold.
No doubt they were playing hard. And to be honest, credit to Louisville fans even. They were still showing up as if, like,
they were.
Oh, yeah.
It was loud. It was like
it's a basketball place. Yeah.
It really was pretty impressive. The effort, the crowd, everything that they're having towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
That's a gambler who knows.
Yes.
Watches like, geez, these guys are still playing really hard.
Yeah.
Credit to you guys.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, Nolan. Appreciate you coming by.
Yes,
this has been
appreciate
awesome.
y'all.
Everyone clap it up for Nolan.
Great job, Rico.
Appreciate it. Great job, Rico. Yeah, no, Louisville did your speech.
Yeah.
It did it for me. So thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Nice meeting you. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
We had the Hooters wings come by. We got the Hooters wings right here. Go check out Hooters. Best place to drink beers, eat wings, watch sports. Hooters is #1. Thank you to Kirby Ice House. We got like 10 minutes left. We have Big Ev come back on. Oh yeah, we got Busker.
Yeah, I'm drinking the Busker right now, Irish whiskey.
Dude,
this is the best cocktail that I might have ever had in a bar. Get the Godfather. If you're out there and you're wondering what to get at the bar, get the Godfather made with the Busker. This is fantastic. I'm honestly in love with this drink. I'm gonna have to steal this recipe and take it home. I do have the Busker at home. I enjoy it very much. It's delicious whiskey. It's triple distilled, triple cask, triple smooth. You can find the Busker in stores and at thebusker.com. They're presenting the bracket Busker team of the day, which is FAU. My Owls. My Owls. Let's go Boca.
That's it. Are we doing it right?
Owls.
Yeah.
Loose butthole?
Yeah, like that.
I'm gonna say.
You put it over your eye? Like, do you make an owl face? Yeah. I like that. The owl face is cool.
Like that.
I'm gonna say something that I'm gonna regret saying. Rico did a good job with the guests today. Bruce Pearl and Nolan Smith were great.
Great
Good job, Rico.
John Fanta,
Well, John Fanta, you showed up
I love
at the
Johnny.
wrong time.
Yeah.
I think Fanta came here with one thing in mind, and it was to give like a passionate speech about Dan Hurley and UConn, so that going into Monday, if UConn beats Miami, the UConn social media team will put out a hype video, and they'll use Fanta's rant.
Yes.
I think that was what he had in mind.
You know what he did?
I'm going to try to get on every hype video.
He did a great job of making UConn the underdog.
Yeah.
That was on nobody's mind until he sat down and told me about how Danny Hurley was the mutt of his family, basically.
Yeah.
That was put in a basket
That
and
was
sit
Bruce
down a river.
Pearl, right?
No, that was Fanta gave that speech.
Yeah,
Bruce
so
Pearl
Dan,
said always pick a mutt.
Dan Hurley is simultaneously basketball royalty because the Hurley family is royalty in basketball, but then he's also like an underdog that no one. Yeah.
But I would actually, John Fanta makes a lot of sense because usually that like second kid will like become the shithead guy.
I completely.
You know what I
agree.
mean?
It's
Like, it's the Manning.
Yeah.
The one who's a nobody.
It's Eli Manning.
yeah.
It's Eli Manning.
No, it's not even Eli Manning.
Cooper. No, it's
Cooper.
it's Roman Roy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fuck up. Yeah.
Or even
Billy
my
Ripken.
favorite moment in the history of the Kardashians when Rob showed up to the wedding
in Paris.
He was too fat to sit in the jumpsuit and they sent him back.
Yeah, he couldn't fit in the suit.
He couldn't fit in the it was like a velour Louis Vuitton jumpsuit. He was too big. Got on the plane, went right back home.
Nobody believes in UConn. Nobody.
Listen,
Us against the world.
But Bosco did a great job. He did.
Job, Rico.
I'm never going to say it to his face. He's not listening right now.
I cannot wait for the games to start. I'm very excited. And by the way, we got women's games, which are beginning.
Right now.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Massive
I think
games
LSU is
tonight.
winning right now in the first half.
And then we got
By a lot?
No, like
Iowa, South Carolina.
That's a decent amount. I bet Virginia Tech.
+2.
+2, yeah. Hokies. And then you got the all-star
Caitlin Clark.
against South Carolina. South Carolina's just too big, I think. But, yeah, so those games will be great.
Did you see that clip when she told who they beat?
Scoreboard.
Yeah, she's like, look at the fucking scoreboard.
Yes,
That's
I did.
awesome. I can't remember who they beat in the Elite Eight, but, yeah, she's an absolute killer.
Yeah, that's going on right now. So I think
I'm excited for tomorrow.
As well.
Final Four.
And I kind of wish the Astros game was a little different. I would have loved to check that stadium out.
What are they playing right now?
They play. Yeah, they play.
It's not worth it.
right
Once
now.
they got rid of the hill and the center.
Yeah, that's true.
I actually didn't know they didn't get rid of. They got
Once they got rid of it, it's like, what's the point of
They
even
had
going?
they had a fucking hill in center field.
I thought that was still there.
And they had a pole.
Yeah.
like a pole that people could run into. I took a tour of Minute Maid one time, and I asked the person, I was like, why is there a hill in your outfield? And it's some long explanation. You guys probably know better than I do, but it was to honor an old baseball field that existed in like 1950. It made no sense whatsoever.
What's the first thing you think of when you think of the Astros Stadium? Is it the hill?
I think of the Washington Nationals winning Game 7.
Okay. I think it was it Albert?
It happened.
Pujols?
I'm sorry. It's history.
There have been have there not
should
been
have
a
kept
lot
Zach
of people
Greinke
that
in.
have just mashed
Why'd you
front
take Zach Greinke out?
over left field, like out of the stadium?
It was Pujols versus Brad Lidge. I've never heard a stadium more quiet.
Yeah.
That was. I'm pretty sure that was a playoff game.
I think it's just home runs that look like they're like hit 10 million feet.
Yeah.
Way out, way out.
The
way
train.
out. Yeah.
Juan Soto's ball's still up there on the train tracks.
I think of
again they have won twice.
Jose Altuve.
But I haven't.
Jose Altuve with a bat that's bigger than he is, and like using all of his might to. They have the short left field, right?
Oh, we should have had Bregman.
They got games.
Diehard guy. Yeah.
But they had games both times. All right, so we're gonna wrap up this episode.
What'd you think of Bosco and One?
He did a good job with the guests. The guests were very good.
Look at Hank clapping over there.
So here's the thing. Rico was this is why he's a power broker, is because the reason he kept bringing up talk up the program is he's a relationship guy. So he's like he needs Nolan Smith to walk away from this saying
that is crazy.
Thank you for giving me the platform to speak about
that. He goes up to these guys. They have no idea who he is and asks for selfies.
Yeah,
that's
pretty crazy.
He probably says I'll get you in a conversation with Dave Portman.
Yeah, no, he definitely does. He says pizza review. You want it? Want to go on Part of My Take? All right, come with me.
Everybody,
come follow me down this dark alley. I got you.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Everybody came. Tomorrow we are doing what?
1 to 3.
1 to 3. Then we got the games after. So thank you again. Thank you to Kirby
Ice House.
Kirby Ice House, not Kirby's. That's the other one. Kirby Ice House. Good to be back. So thank you guys.
Thanks, guys.